Not Like Us joint. Go timestamp on him. Give him one song and dip. One song and dip. If that drop a million other songs, you've done enough where I think even if people don't think you won, they can't say you lost disgustingly.
Stage, you need to act your age and not your girl's age.
Number 6, Tyga and Black China. Drake also allegedly had a fling with Tyga's other ex and baby mama, Black China, long before she was a household name. On Miss Me, off of his debut album, Thank Me Later, in 2010, Drake says, Drizzy used to fly China all over the place to hang out. And apparently, the fling lasted a lot longer.
Oh, by the way, let me pause because we had some big donations I didn't read still. Hey, listen, Brady Atomos, thank you for the $500 donation. I apologize for not reading your donation till now. He says, what's the definition of a real nigga? Is it a ruthless gangbanger, sex addict, drug dealer, or a father who tries to be a good person in the world at the expense of what others think about him? It can't be both. After you answer, ask what a racist would choose. Then ask yourself how Drake defines it. Y'all are so backwards in the head, it's sad. He's asking the question. That's my man Brady from YouTube. Thank you for the $500 donation. Big W to Brady. I appreciate you donating to the platform, right? Lord Hybrid, thank you for the $300 donation. He says, Kendrick is positioning himself as a mature family man, and he's pointing out the differences because Drake is being positioned as a nasty thought. I mean, it seems to kind of be working a bit. And Avenue 77 says, Act trying to big the Drizzler, a.k.a. Drake, up right now. I'm not trying to big him up. Like, I'm trying to go off a line where Kendrick says, Kendrick is bringing this back up saying, yo, you fucked Wayne's girl, like, back in the day. That was scummy.
Longer than just that year. They had allegedly been seeing each other behind Tyga's back for a long time. And so when he found out, he was understandably pissed.
Because of her, I'm just a rapper, and soon she'll have met another.
Number 7, Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. Speaking of Miss Me, on that same song, Drake confesses his love for Nicki Minaj, which he has done on many occasions. The reason that Meek and Drake ended up beefing in the first place. Meek apparently thought that Drake's verse on Rico was taking subliminal shots at him with the line,
Always new women gotta keep a balance. The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge.
Which is part of the reason that he looked into the verse so hard. Then on his Meek Mill diss, Charged Up, in the Meek's mind it caused a little trouble. Although, just like Chris Brown, the two have patched their relationship and now have a platinum song together. Number 8, Lil Wayne and an ex-girlfriend. Alright, so this is a little bit of an interlude because this one wasn't in any song lyrics that we know of. And yes, you read that correctly. Even his boss's girls aren't safe. When Wayne went away to Rikers Island, he was journaling daily to help him get through it.
Wait, did our stream get cut? Oh, I think our stream might have got cut on YouTube. Did it? Hopefully he comes back. All right, we're going to just exit out of this. Oh, boy. Anyway, let's get back to reading the lyrics. It says, fucked on Wayne's girl while he was in jail. That's conniving. Then get his face tatted like a bitch apologizing. Ooh, I forgot Drake did that. Drake gets Lil Wayne face tatted. Oh.
Drake has something really exciting to share with his fans and his boss. A new tattoo of his boss. This is the weirdest
You can see right there on his arm.
I guess. Drake got a tattoo of Lil Wayne right there on his left tricep. Lil Wayne, of course, is the head of Cash Money, and I'm sorry, Young Money, which is Drake's label. And now Drake and Wayne have been friends, and Wayne really took Drake under his wing when he got into the biz.
And
So it's just a little weird. I mean,
it's definitely a little weird, but Drake also has a lot of portrait tattoos. He has his mom, his dad, Aaliyah, and he has 2 of Sade. So it's clearly his thing.
It's not weird to me at all. It makes a lot of sense because this is the guy who basically put him on, gave him a career, and the reason why he's so successful. So why wouldn't you just show love and be like, all right, like show him it's super real, but like, thank you so much. If you put your mom and your dad and everybody else on.
I guess the difference is Drake, like the Sade, like Drake doesn't hang out with Sade.
He has his boy's face on his body.
Right. It's a little bizarre.
It seems like it would be a little awkward at times, but
I mean, do you want a Harvey tattoo? Like, when my boss is named Harvey, if I wanted a Harvey tattoo, that would be strange.
Well, then Kelly, get it.
No.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Get it right on my ass. Right on my butt. So
Was that weird that he tatted Wayne's face? I think people usually say that tattoos are reserved for people who died, right?
I feel like he could have wrote an email.
What?
He could have wrote a nice email or something like that.
Could have did a nice tweet.
Or even, I don't know, but like today, this is like a little extra. I mean, not weird, as in it's weird. It's a little extra, a little bit extra.
Hi, I'm Lauren Danae, and I'm from Houston, Texas. I love Drake's new tattoo.
You know what? Let me call that nigga Van. By the way, all these niggas be in L.A. Van. Let's see if we can get a word or two out of Van Lathan.
Hello?
Van.
What's up?
I'm actually on a live stream. I just want to let you know.
Okay. What's poppin'?
Are you keeping up on the rap war going on or no?
I definitely am.
Did you hear the new Kendrick track?
I definitely did.
Hey, the reason why I called you, number one, I was watching an old TMZ video because you guys are breaking down Drake getting a Wayne tattoo, and you were speaking about it. You were funny in it, and also Kendrick mentions, "Yo, Drake, you fucked your boss's girl, then tattooed your boss's face to apologize." Like, give me your overall thoughts about this whole battle.
Interesting. Well, first of all, I think it's been fantastic for you.
Oh, of course. Perfect. Yeah.
I think the biggest winner in the whole battle has been you. And you've actually outlasted even the other new media names that have been propped up in the battle. So I think all the niggas should be the kudos for you for everything that's going on. Honestly, I think the battle is, for the most part, has been kind of lackluster. And it's because, yeah, I mean, look, I'm older, right? Mm-hmm. So I remember when the fans still had some sort of objectivity. So when Takeover dropped, you couldn't tell anybody that Nas was going to be able to come back from it. Nas was down in his career, or as down as somebody as talented as Nas could be. And the Jay-Z was at the scene, the pinnacle of what he could do. And he hit him so fucking hard. And everything he said was so true, or it felt so true, that everybody was like, that's it. It's over, right? And this was hip-hop. Everybody from all over the place. Jay-Z is like, fucking, I'm the king of New York. I'm taking it over. It's my shit. Then Ether dropped, and who Hove was, like how big of a deal he was, it didn't matter. People heard it, and they were like, oh, shit, this is better. I don't know if we could do that no more. I think the people that are in Kendrick's camp are in Kendrick's camp. And I think the people that are in Drake's camp are in Drake's camp. And it wouldn't matter what was true or what was false. It wouldn't matter who had the better record or who didn't have the better record. Like, the only thing that they could really do is make the people that love them hate the other guy more. And that's kind of the thing, right? So Drake don't really have to do too much. None of this shit has to even be true. They just have to have said it. Now, having said that, the one takeaway from this is that Drake has the crown as the biggest rapper in the game, and there has never been a rapper as big as Drake in the game that has been hated by this many of his peers. They don't like him. Like, it's not, hey, they're jealous. It's not, hey, they want to beat him. I don't know. I'm sure all of those things are true.
Jealousy has to be a part of it, right? Like, I mean,
I agree. Go ahead. My bad. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, like, to me, it's unforeseeable that many people could all agree that we hate this guy to the point that, I mean, I know Kanye's a little bit out there, but when he says, yo, we all joined together for the elimination of this guy, this sounds like not only attempted coup, this sounds like, yo, we all hate this guy for maybe a shared reason, and it's hard to foresee, unless he's doing some crazy shit, that maybe some jealousy isn't there since he's the number one guy.
Well, for Kanye, it's definitely some jealousy. That's the number one biggest hater statement in the history of hip hop, right there, that Kanye said. But Kendrick Lamar doesn't have much reason to be jealous of Drake.
Like, wait, are you sure?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I've explained this before. Kendrick has seen Drake rise to a level that he can't get to unless he's down to do what Drake does. And even though he resents what Drake probably has done and how Drake has maybe compromised himself, or maybe he thought he sold out or sold it, so whatever the case is, but that level of achievement for the person who is the essential or what people think is the best in the culture, I think Kendrick does want all of that as well. He may just not be willing to do all of what Drake did. So again, while being jealous, you then hate on the methods of how someone got to that spot rather than just being in the spot. You know what I mean? Because if we listen to Kendrick, he's basically saying everything he's criticizing about Drake is kind of what Drake did to get to the spot. By the way, let's throw out immediately, Drake is not a pedophile, but appealing to the youth, right? Which now, obviously, because Drake's 37, people are now chalking this up to be like creepy, but constantly appealing to the youth instead of, like, for example, J. Cole growing with your audience. That's how you kind of become where Drake is at, right? You're constantly appealing to, you know, they always have that saying, a new girl turns 18 every day. Hey, there's new 23-year-olds that's going to be listening to Drake's music, and yeah, he's going to always be singing about them. I heard Joe Budden when he was talking about his last time, he said, why is Drake on a song saying she was 21 and I was blah, blah. Who knows if that's even true? Maybe he's just saying my music is for 21-year-olds, despite what age I am, blah, blah, blah. So again, you know, I think to get to where Drake has gotten success-wise, I'm not saying everything, but you don't get there. Like, for example, Drake popping out at all these, like, yo, he's courtside. Like, yo, if you think about yesteryear, when we were talking about Jay-Z, even when we were talking about Nelly, Ja Rule, yo, you don't get to be the number one guy unless you're doing certain things. It's only now that the number 2 and number 3 drop albums and go play basketball in Ghana and just drop albums and go away. You kind of got to do, like, you got to fit the bill of being the superstar. Drake is the only one who does that. He pops out at, you know, courtside games. He's going to be having the hot party in town. Again, obviously he's Asian, but I think that's him just trying to continue to be in the position he's in. I think these other guys kind of envy that a bit. What do you say?
So I don't know. The reason why I said it would be weird for him to be jealous of him, anybody, Drake's success is enviable, but think about what I'm saying, right? So part of the reason why Kendrick Lamar is because Drake exists. And part of the reason why Drake is who Drake is because Kendrick Lamar exists. Like, anytime you have a foil like that, the existence of the other side of that is necessary to counterbalance it. So if there are guys like Steven Spielberg who are great auteurs, but they make big movies, right? They make E.T., they make War of the Worlds, like that. If you're Spike Lee, any smaller director that's known for the small movies they make, Wes Anderson, even Stanley Kubrick, if you're any of those guys, either make E.T. or make Jurassic Park or shut the fuck up about it. You can't be mad that guy will go out there and do that. And obviously, since you're not doing that, you must have a different way that you approach making your films.
I agree.
And so like with Nas and Hove, the thing that was big about them was that Nas was actually saying that the way that Jay-Z is going about being a hip-hop superstar I don't agree with it. And the way that Hov was saying, the way that Nas was going about doing it, I don't agree with it. Kendrick doesn't drop all the time. Kendrick doesn't latch on the fads. Kendrick doesn't ride what's hot. Kendrick not gonna make a trap record. He's not gonna change his sound. He's not gonna do none of that. That's not a criticism of Drake. That's saying that that's not something that he's gonna do. There has to be somebody that's not going to do that. That person's gonna win all the awards. Drake might win all of the fans. So if he was jealous of Drake because Drake was the biggest rapper in the world, it wouldn't make any sense. He only drops once every 4 or 5 years. So if he would want to be the biggest rapper in the world, then I would think that he would change his style, just like Drake, right? If Drake wanted to win all the Grammys and win the Pulitzer Prize and do all of that, I would think that he would make songs about something other than, like, you know, surface level heartbreak or shit for the clubs or stuff like. I would think he would make songs that people found a little bit more important.
I think Drake is accepted that because if you go back to his lyrics, he said, "Listen, yo, I could have all your fans." He's talking to Kendrick. I could have all your fans if I didn't go pop and I stayed on some conscious shit.
But I don't think he could though. So, but here's the thing though. I think he says that. Like, I think he says that, but I don't think he could.
He also stopped submitting his music for even Grammy considerations and other things, and
because he was losing. So what I'm saying is, I don't think Drake could be Kendrick, and I don't think Kendrick could be Drake. And that's what I'm talking about. And like Cole is right there, kind of in the middle of them. But I don't think either guy could be either guy, which is why something like this is kind of styles makes fights. With Drake, what you just said, and it's interesting to see how streaming changes this because no one's been on top as long as Drake has been on top, and part of that is because of streaming. Streaming allows you to have that foothold for a longer time. But I can tell you one thing. Drake has gotten, for as much criticism as he's also gotten an inordinate amount of leeway from hip-hop fans. Like, more leeway, more grace than anyone has ever gotten.
Whoa, explain. Whoa, explain, please.
Okay, so look. In the past, they wouldn't have accepted a rapper that had a ghostwriting situation. They wouldn't have accepted a rapper who got blitzed by somebody and then didn't respond back. They wouldn't have accepted a rapper who was as emotional as Drake. They wouldn't have accepted a rapper. But to be honest with you, his continued success and just the quality of what he's put out over time, he really beat hip-hop into submission. He made hip-hop accept him. And they were waiting, a lot of people, waiting to not have to accept him anymore. They were waiting. The only Drake, for as much as people say about Drake took everything he ever got. He took it just by hits, making songs. You're like, man, I like that record. I don't know if I should, but I like that record. I like it. I connect to it for some reason. But it was never quite, people are like, well, why does he sound like a Jamaican now? Well, why does he sound like he's from England now? Do we do that? So he's with Future now. So now he's doing that. Like, is that something that can be done? He broke all the rules. And people like their rules. They like them. They don't like people that come in and don't play the game the same way that the generations in the past have done. They like it. They're looking for a reason to say, hey, you're not like us. And one last thing I'll say, and then it'd be interesting to see what you say about this. Drake's run also coincides. Drake is a fantastic artist, very nice guy. His run also coincides with one of the most tumultuous times in Black American culture. You're talking about the death of Freddie Gray. You're talking about Trayvon Martin. You're talking about all of this stuff happened. And he didn't make himself an ally to that. And that's something that the rappers on top have never done. They've never just been like, okay, all of this stuff is going on in the ghetto, in the hood, and all of this stuff, and I just kind of don't care. I'm just going to keep you dancing. Like, it was different. Like, it was different. And now I think this is kind of some hating shit, but not from Kendrick. I think Kendrick really, really despises the existence of somebody like Drake. He doesn't like the fact that guy who doesn't have the experience or doesn't give the requisite care to the culture that he would say exists and is that big. And I don't think he likes that. And I don't think Drake likes Kendrick. I don't think he said in the rhyme, he said, Kendrick opened his mouth like, we got to give him a Grammy. That's some hater shit. So I think they both kind of resent the existence of the other person, if I'm being honest.
I honestly think that Drake wanted to be cool and friends with Kendrick. I think Kendrick genuinely didn't like him. And at a point when no, I'm serious. Hey, listen. You think about this. Why the fuck does Drake put Kendrick on his first album with the interlude? Kendrick at that point is nobody. Like in the eyes of Drake drops Take Care after Thank Me Later. He's now seen as the prodigy. People are saying this guy might be one of them. Why give Kendrick a alley-oop? Like, that's what people don't like. Why bring that nigga on tour? Like, why do these things if you had a genuine hate for the nigga? Yo, even up until a couple months ago, why even reach out to ask the nigga to be on first person shooter if you really don't like him? Like,
to son him.
Huh?
To son him.
To son him?
So let me. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Acting like you don't know this. You know, like, so you know what? I heard somebody say something that was like super astute about Drake a while ago, and it was when Drake got on the song with Lil Baby. What's the name of that record?
Is it Wants and Needs or Girls Want Girls?
Nah, it's the one where Lil
Yes,
Baby
indeed.
comes
Yes,
and he
indeed.
goes,
Yes, indeed.
It's yes indeed. It's yes indeed. I heard somebody say this is the first time that Drake got on the track with a new artist, and the new artist delivered a verse as good as Drake's.
That is true.
Right.
That was rare. I've acknowledged that too. Go ahead.
You said that.
Yeah.
I got that from you.
Yeah, all right, cool.
And so you said that. And so really, Drake works with everybody. He does. But part of the reason why he works with everyone, number one, is to capitalize on that person's wave, which is smart. It's not that's smart.
Jay, he learned it from Jay.
And another way to do it is
hold on. He learned it from Jay. Can we acknowledge?
That's it's cool. I'm not saying, look,
Jay did the same thing to Jeezy. Are we not lying?
No, I mean, he did the same thing to Jeezy. Also, I will say this. Yeah,
Go
it's
crazy?
actually kind of exactly the same thing. Well,
yes.
it is because when trap came in, it was a different way to talk your drug talk. And it was like Jay had to connect with those guys because he didn't want to become the obsolete model of what was being talked about with the street rap and stuff like that. He connected with those guys. But what I'm saying is with Drake, yeah, he wanted to I think a lot of that stuff is dope, but if you think about some of these records, man, I mean, Travis Scott's a huge artist. Sicko Mode is a Drake record, right? Like a lot of these records, they become Drake records. You know this. And so sizing these guys up is good for Drake. Kendrick probably wants to exist without him. He doesn't want to be on a song with him that everybody likes. Because he says it to himself, no matter what the narrative, I'm that nigga.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
you
whack.
can't be that nigga. Huh?
I think that's whack. I'm gonna tell you why. Go back to Young Thug.
You don't think it's whack. You're one of the most competitive people
No, hold on.
ever.
No, well, hating on his approach. Go back to Young Thug, right? Like, again, we all acknowledge Drake's style of, hey, he embraces. I mean, again, he learned it from Jay, but he embraces the reason why he put his hand around Baby. It's like fresh off freestyle. Says rather than have people even think you're gonna be a competitor, I'm gonna be seen with you, okay? And that was dope. Again, that's a Jay-like move. I look at people like Kendrick who don't do that, and I'm like, why would you have a problem when someone does do it, or is doing it to, like, even if it's for some selfish reasons? Because think about what Thug said on the Breakfast Club. You know what he said? Man, a lot of these guys, they're already successful. We need that alley-oop. And he said Drake was everyone's OG because he's the only one who will give the newer artists, who will look down, give the newer artist a feature that could probably help that artist. To Cole, Drake, and Dot, that shit probably doesn't matter if you do a feature or not. To them, it could probably put them in a different stratosphere. So again, I have to look at what Drake has done in that realm and say, that's actually not only good for him, it's good for the artist. When Kendrick, who doesn't really interact with new artists, period, you kind of stall the culture. Like, you don't pass the ball. Like, a nigga who only drops music, only collaborates with his cousin, and then does not interact with hip-hop on any type of generational, like, level, like, yo, what are we doing?
Well, okay, so, I mean, look, I think that's an interesting point, but I also think it's just a fundamentally different way to look at, like, your career and what it is that you're supposed to do. number one, I think it's dope to get on tracks with every new person that you can, and I think a lot of times that squashes a lot of the bad blood in the game.
I think Cole started doing it, by the way, because
Cole started doing it later on. At
Yes.
first, Cole wouldn't work with nobody, but Cole started doing it later on, right? And look, I think it's dope, and Kendrick works with people, right? But I not new artists like Drake, right? But I think it's also because number one, there's probably a little bit more. Drake is a chameleon. Like, he can get on a record with anybody, right? Because he can melody you out. I mean, Drake is jumping on songs with Summer Walker and Jhené Aiko, like everybody. He'll jump on your record, right?
Hey,
but it's also because, but hold on, but it's also because he's playing with his sound. Because his sound, honestly, is more malleable to different types of music. He has a more digestible sound. For Kendrick Lamar to keep the potency of his artistry going, for him to continue to do things the way he's doing it, he probably can't dilute what he's doing like that. He really has to mean it. And so it's never going to be as many. Like, it's plenty of artists from back in the day, all kinds of different artists that their art is very central, and they're very insular with it, and they don't really move outside of it. That's okay, too. That's why I say the different things. I don't think it's bad for the culture that someone only wants to make records and write with their team. I don't think that's bad at all. I think it's good for the culture that Drake has gotten a lot of people a lot of looks. But bro, Kendrick is far from he's far from being the only person that didn't want that. XXS and Tentacion didn't want the Drake stimulus package. Kodak Black didn't want the Drake stimulus package. There've been a lot of other people that have looked. Bryson Tiller didn't want the Drake stimulus package. There've been a lot of other people that were like,
wait. I don't know if Bryson didn't want it. I think Bryson just didn't want to sign. Hey, the saying goes, you either die a hero or you live long enough to be the villain, and that's where Drake's at. He's the villain, right? So in 2013, when he hops on, 2012, when he hops on a young guy out of Atlanta who just got shysted by another rapper whose name was YC, who never turned out to be nothing, and was basically, he was told by that other artist, it's not your song, go make another hit. The guy comes with another song, Drake jumps on it, it's a huge stimulus package, that rapper becomes Future. You know what is said at that point? That's a Drake stimulus package. He finds 3 guys out of Atlanta, Gwinnett County to be specific. They got a popular song. They already had a local movement. He makes them national because the remix and the verse he drops is historic. They become the Migos. It's the Drake stimulus package, right? Perfect. That's what it is in 2013. In 2014,
I will say this real quick.
I
will say this. All those artists that you're talking about, there have been also other artists that Drake's jumped on their records. I mean, all of those artists have become who they are because of what they've been able to deliver. Future cultivated a fan base so crazy that him and Drake fell out, and Drake still came back with Future because Future was the hottest thing, hotter than Drake at a time, right? Migos still had a music that got people, because there's plenty of people that, like Black Boy JB, Drake jump on a record with him. No disrespect to Black Boy JB or no to some of these other people, but I'm saying is like, he didn't. These people have had movements and these people been great, but it's like it's a stretch to say to say that Drake made these guys.
No. That was not the point I was even trying to make. I was trying to showcase that Drake was instrumental in giving an alley-oop. These guys are great on their own. No.
It's undeniable. Yeah, you're right.
But what I was talking about was the optics, right? So at that point, like, I remember even me terming it, like, I remember I was doing YouTube videos, I said, this is the Drake stimulus package, right? That was 2013. Fast forward about, like, 2018, 2019, or actually even a little bit earlier, the idea of Drake helping a new artist turned from a stimulus package to culture vulturing. He's trying to ride a wave. He's trying to soak up your wave. Don't you understand? You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm using the reference. You either die a hero... You die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. When he's helping out Future and he's helping out the Migos, it's a stimulus package. Then later on, when they're like, hey, you're still doing this? Matter of fact, you're stealing from them. It was everything in music is mutual.
So a couple of things changed. So you're not wrong, but a couple of things changed in here. A couple of things changed during this time. Number one, Drake would get on people's records and it would still be Drake. Right? It would be Drake. Drake is on there when he's on Versace, he's rapping like Drake. He's switched up to cadence to Beethoven's beat, but he not giving Migos on there. Two things happened. Number one, people understood situations like Hotline Bling, where he essentially takes an interpolation of somebody else's record that had just jumped on, and then takes that and takes it to the number one. It started to cost different artists a little bit. And also, Drake started becoming a chameleon and getting on these songs with these artists and then sounding like them. And so it stopped being a Drake stimulus package when Drake started jumping on different trends from all over the place that people were on. Then people start to ask, well, okay, if Drake is a grime artist now, or if Drake is a trap artist now, we're not talking about you getting on there and doing So Far Gone or doing Furthest Thing or doing any of these things. We're talking about now you're sounding like these people. You're switching your shit up. Like, that's, people start to wonder, is it about the artist or is it about Drake? And it really, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter who it's about. Because it's as long as everyone is winning from it, it's good for everybody. But if you're if you then get in a conversation with someone about pure artistry, people are going to ask, well, what do you care about when you're making music? Like, is there something deeper to care about? And I'll tell you what, bro, what you're saying about that Dark Knight situation is always true, but people always want the music to mean something. They always want to be able to say, and I'm not saying Drake's music hasn't meant anything. It's meant something to me. You know what I mean? People think I'm a Drake hater. I'm not at all. I think Drake is an amazing talent. But I do think for a 37-year-old man, right, at this particular point, like, I don't have no problem from a social perspective with the nail painting and the barrettes and all of that stuff. I don't have a problem with that. Like, people express themselves in different ways. It's not a normative thing that makes me have a problem with it. But it is kind of odd. Like, it is kind of odd for him to want to dress like Yachty. Yo, he's 37 years old. And when you start to get to that point, it makes you start to look at everything else that's in the music and everything else about him and go, well, who is he really? Because, like, you can't tell me.
Hey, are you bringing up the point that I've seen a bunch of people bring up, basically saying that you don't like the fact that he's not aging appropriately with his music and his style and maybe lifestyle? I
don't have no problem with nothing. It's just,
you're pointing out. You must like.
I'm pointing out because
I'm not saying you personally care, but like,
yeah. I'm pointing it out because
you think it's irregular.
Like, if Hov right now made a whole trap album, I'd be like, nah. It's Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? If not, like, when you look at how Nas and Jay-Z, how the rest of these guys have aged, they're making great music. Now, less people care about their music because it's not in the zeitgeist of music that people are really into right now. But a lot of guys are aging really well in hip-hop and making really great stuff. And they're in a really good creative place. But to me, there is a way that you comport yourself when you got some more years on you. And at a certain point, you do have to let it go. If I was going to make one criticism of Drake that I think I would make from seeing him these last couple of years, is that it seems as if the most important part of Drake's identity is being a rap star. It seems like he was searching for acceptance until he was a rap star.
Or maybe he just likes to be a rapper and he wants to be the best. Like why when we talk about Drake, it's always he lacks an identity, he needs acceptance, he's never been cool. Like they treat him like oh, he used to get bullied in high school and now he's finally cool. No, maybe he likes rap. He likes the idea of being the number one rapper. What that allows, the competitive nature, the fact that there's always new people and new generations that come in and the sound changes, and he likes to live up to that challenge. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. But the question is, what will you do to be able to do it, right? So Drake had I mean, this is for hip hop, whatever. Some people may care about this, some people don't. Drake had whole other people writing his music, right? He got in a battle where he bullied one guy and then got in another battle when one guy stepped up too much for him and he couldn't go to that next level that people want. I'm older. There's going to become a point in everybody's life, no matter what it is that you're doing, to where who you are is going to have to matter. And that's for anybody doing anything, man. I'll give you an example real quick. Somebody who I have a lot of respect for. Will Smith played the nicest, most unassuming guy in Hollywood for X amount of years, right? Everything that happens, I can handle it. 6'4" nigga from New Orleans want to drop dick off of my wife, cool. It's all cool. One day, Will Smith fucking snapped. One day, who Will was and what he's actually going through, what he actually gives to people, who you're trying to be. Remember, I had 9 years in the trenches of TMZ, seeing people trying to hide who they are. Who you really are, it's going to come to the surface. People, either it's going to be pulled out of you in some way, or you're just going to run out of gas trying to be something other than what you are. And he walked up on that stage and he smacked the shit out of that man that really didn't do him nothing. And so all I'm saying is, with a guy like Drake, is really not this deep. He can make music and do whatever he wants for a long time. But at a certain point, it is going to be crazy to be... I could name you 10 other rappers right now that's 40, 41, 42, and we don't want to hear that shit that you was rapping about when you was 29 no more. Don't matter how dope the record is. If it's the same shit, I'm like, nigga, where your kids at? What can you... I'm different. Are you different? You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, so here's my counter to that. Usually, and you're right, but the culture usually dictates that, right? Like, so for example, an arch enemy of mine at this point, like Meek Mill is 40 rapping about him being a gangster while we know he's giving speeches while he's reading. Well, he could barely read. He's trying to read off a piece of paper. No, I'm serious. So when he talks about he got his niggas with switches spinning blocks and he's killing niggas, it sounds unbelievable. The culture itself has looked at Meek and just said, your lifestyle, who you are as a person, does not match this content. It doesn't come across authentic anymore. We're going to reject it. Meek Mill sold 4,000 records last time. With Drake, it doesn't appear that the culture has really done that to him yet. However, I see talking heads and other people trying to impose it on you. Bro, you're getting too old. I think the culture will reject Drake at the point they feel he's inauthentic, right? I think the moment that, okay, Yachty helped and influenced songs like Jumbotron Shit Poppin', right? He influenced, like, even his last album, well, actually, Her Loss a lot. The moment them records don't work, the moment whatever he's trying to do doesn't work, Drake is done. But but while it still works, I don't think it's on anybody to be telling Drake to switch it up. It's still working.
No. As long as you don't switch nothing up until it still works. If you're in the boxing ring and you jab 50 times and you hit somebody 50 times with a jab, and you keep jabbing them, don't switch up anything that's going on until it don't work no more. Like, I don't understand why basketball people do that sometimes. If you somewhere and you run a play and the play runs and the play works 6 times, keep going back on to it until they stop it. The culture will probably never reject Drake, but they might tire of him.
We're waiting for that point.
But even if that doesn't happen, I think that won't change some observations of who he is and what he's doing. I've kind of, I'm 44 now. I've kind of moved past some of that music, but some of it's still dope.
And by the way, Could I also say, and I know, Chad, some of y'all gonna say IQ compromise, you glazing, but listen, I'm only pointing out things that, listen, logically, if you have a response to it, cool. But let me ask you this question. Future, who's like 43, 44, his content, no one is telling him, yo, Future, it's time to grow up. You rapping about bitches ain't shit. You're 40 fucking 4, nigga. You need to grow the fuck up. Stop rapping about being a drug addict and running through bitches. But here's the thing. This is why people treat Future as like a genre. Future, you go to for toxic raps. You go to Future for the objectification of women, if that's what you're into. My argument has always been, it's the same with Drake. If you be in your feelings 2 a.m. and driving, crying over the steering wheel, that's where Drake comes in. You get your heart broken, something like that's where his music has always came in. Why are we now, and only specifically, we can't name another artist? I can name you 5 of these niggas who's pushing 40 that their content, and again, I'm talking about the ones who still are, like their content is still working. We're not telling them they should change before it stops working. But we're trying to say that to Drake.
Okay. Good point. Well, that's what I would say. Heavy is the head that lies the crown. Drake is the number one guy. So being that he's the number one guy, he's not. Future is a huge rapper, but he's a niche rapper. Future is almost a mascot for a certain lifestyle.
Nigga, stop. Future is a top 5 rapper. You say
he is, but he's a top. When I say he's niche, I mean he's the subject matter is niche. Future is a hot artist, but not an important one, right? He's an important one from the standpoint of what he means to the fabric of the sound, but like no one expects. Future wouldn't have to hide anything. Like Future could right now, we could pop up right now and Future could get like 5 women pregnant and like they could all drop kids like mixtapes next year and nobody would care. That would matter to Drake and to Drake fans because Drake is a little bit more corporate. He's a little bit, it's expected that Drake is going to comport himself in a different way. Future is free from that. What you're saying about the Asian rappers is definitely true. You have more rappers getting older, and not all of them. Some of them really just got started in terms of what we know from them. Some of them really just got hot rapping about the stuff that they're rapping about. I think Drake's been doing what he's doing for a long time, which is another thing. And people are wondering if there's a curveball or another gear. It's not like it's a fair criticism, but it is a criticism that every single artist goes through. For example, Leonardo DiCaprio been fucking 25-year-old, 23-year-old supermodels for a long time. People are starting to ask the question now, this dude is 50 years old. People are starting to ask the question now, is this weird? Is it weird for him? It wasn't weird when he was 30. It wasn't weird when he was 35. It wasn't weird when he was 40. It wasn't weird when he was 45. But now when you see Leonardo DiCaprio at 49 or 50, and this is not me commenting on his lifestyle, I'm just saying these are the questions that people will ask. People start wondering, was it the same? Drea Michelle has been living her life for a long time. Her having a relationship with somebody who is in their first or second year playing basketball, it's not that big of a deal. It's only big of a deal to people, not necessarily to me, but to people, if she's 40 and she's doing it. Because people start to go, okay, well, now Drea's older, the people are still young. Is there some sort of thing that she's wielding over them that's untoward? I don't happen to believe that, but people are going to ask those questions. And they're going to ask those questions about Drake more than they will Future because they take Drake more seriously than they take Future. Future is a great artist, a dope artist, but like they don't take Future as seriously as they take Drake. And because
you know, this is why you're a very cerebral thinking type of guy. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I really think we're evading the point. I think the big difference with a Future and a Drake, it's not corporate shit, because Drake is still rapping about meeting girls and you see him out with random girls. I think niggas is tired of this motherfucker winning. Like, they're tired of him winning. Like, he's been at the top, and I think people even want to, I think they're trying to shame him into either, yo, go settle down and fall back for a while, because he just hasn't fallen back. If we compare Drake to the last person, his predecessor, that was, maybe in that position, and we're not talking about, Kanye is just Kanye, but Kanye went through a lot of shit that, when he was at his peak, he kind of fell back a bunch and then kind of almost turned to fashion, this and third. When Wayne was, when Drake hit around like 2013, 2014, people were comparing him to Wayne on his run in 2008, 2009. You know what Wayne did? Wayne went to jail, and Wayne actually just fell back naturally from what being the top guy was. We've never seen a guy that literally wanted to sit on the crown for 10 years. Jay-Z didn't have an opportunity to do it. DMX never had an opportunity to do it.
The landscape was different.
Okay,
So
but I think people are tired of the same king. They're tired of the same king.
Well, it's the audience might not be tired of it. There are probably people in the culture that are tired of it. And look, what's happening to Drake right now is not so much different than what's happening to other people that have been like on top like that. The only thing is, and this is the last question, the final question that I have. Drake doesn't have to be a fundamental purist hip hop artist. He doesn't. He never has been. But he is good at everything. He's a great rapper. He's a great writer. Now, everybody gonna get mad when I say that. I'm assuming that most of the stuff that Drake has rapped, he's written. People think because what happened with Quinn happened that he didn't write anything. I think we all know that Drake is a good writer, right? So he's great at it. He's got a great ear for melody. He's also got a great ear for talent and talent around him and records that he might need to take from people and record for himself. Everybody in that position does that, right? What I would say is this, though. Does Drake have enough fundamental hip-hop credibility, talent, and like gumption and wherewithal left to be in a situation with people who are more closely aligned with fundamental hip-hop shit? Just beats and rhymes, just rapping. Just dropping your nuts, just rapping. Not hiding behind the niggas around you, not hiding behind anything that you've created. Just the fundamentals of hip-hop. Does he care enough about it, and does he have enough about that to outlast somebody that's what they all about? If this was a pop music back and forth thing, then it would already be ready to be over. But this is the essence of hip hop.
I don't even like what you're saying. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think Drake could rap with anybody, but you know where we're comparing now. Who's more pro-black? Who cares more about the culture? Who identifies with the very core tenets of the culture?
That matters to me.
Like, it's gonna be Kendrick. The light-skinned Canadian nigga who's half black, half white, who's had an experience that's really is multifaceted, and yes, of course, for some, if you don't like him, you're gonna call him a culture vulture. When his experience of growing up was going to go chill with his father in Memphis, and maybe that was, he was going from city to city or going to different places, and he was picking up little pieces of the culture, rather than Kendrick Lamar, who's, just a black American who grew up in Compton and saw shit from a very different perspective and didn't have a mom who was white. So again, we're talking about shit that a nigga can't change. What do you want to do?
But you understand, though? Can't just say one thing?
Yeah.
You're Jamaican, right?
Yes.
Do you realize I can't go to Jamaica right now and start making reggae music or dancehall music? I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm as black as they fucking come. Black, 4 black grandparents, the whole 9. I can't go to Jamaica right now and start making dancehall or reggae music and just fall into it and then learn Jamaican culture. I can't do that. Hip hop is the only form of expression. Give me another one.
Reggae. Exactly what you're saying. You might can't go to Jamaica.
Who? Let me ask you a question. Who is the biggest American reggae artist of all time?
I wouldn't know off the top of my head because I don't give a fuck about him. But let me tell you this.
Because there isn't. But no. Do you know why though? Because there isn't one. Because that's those people's music.
No,
and
that's
so
not true. I'm telling you this because this is an ongoing conversation. The Marley family is always on the charts. They stream well. But if you look, because by the way, even other countries subscribe to the Billboard charts. And the Billboard charts when it comes to reggae is usually these white bands. I swear to you, I promise
Listen,
you. Go look it
I
up.
get it.
It's these
I
white
know what you're
bands.
talking
A
about.
lot of them are European. They play reggae music as if it was authentic. They're just not from the culture. They're not from Jamaica.
What I'm telling you is those types of. I know exactly what you're talking about. I get it. I'm not saying that other people don't do the music, but what I'm saying is that those people are never going to be accepted by the people who the music is fundamental to them as being at the top of reggae, right? And like with people talk about Black Americans and gatekeeping, Black Americans really don't gatekeep at all. Like if you're good at it and you have the right cosigns, you can come in and we'll fuck with you. We'll fuck with you no matter what you're doing. If you Justin Timberlake and you dancing like Michael Jackson, if you Eminem and you rapping like the other guys, whatever you're doing, we'll fucking until that didn't really happen with Eminem, until in some kind of way you besmirch that culture or there seems to be something off about you. I'm not saying that that's happening with Drake, but what I'm saying is that when you're telling me that Drake didn't grow up in a certain way, that Drake didn't do all of that's cool, all of that's fine, all of that's great. He Black. I interviewed his daddy before. Drake Black, right? In the way that I understand it.
Well, Kendrick is trying to revive that conversation.
Kendrick is saying that Drake isn't culturally Black, and that's a thing. So is it like if I said this on Higher Learning, there's a Supreme Court justice named Amy Coney Barrett, and they adopted a young Black lady. Now, when you look at her, when you see the picture of Amy Coney Barrett's family, look at the girl's hair. Look at her. Look at the kid's hair. That kid don't know how to do her hair. They don't know how to do her hair. There's no one to teach her how to do her hair. There's not going to be anyone to teach her the tenets, the cultural rules, or the shortcuts, or the beauty of the culture. She is Black, and she will not grow up culturally Black. If you want to say that Drake did not grow up culturally Black, and therefore there are some things about Black culture that Drake might not understand, that's a fair criticism.
Black American culture. Black American culture we should be clear about. Because
Black American culture is what we're talking about because we're talking about hip hop.
Okay.
So which is why I brought up reggae, because even though I'm Black, I'm not going to be accepted just going in there and interloping into reggae just because I'm Black. I'm not going to be accepted opening up a Jamaican restaurant or saying I got the best jollof rice because I'm Black. There are things that we share, then there are things that are different. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I'm following.
Yeah. But look, I'm gonna get out of here. But look, bro, you're doing a good job running interference for OVO. I'm very proud. You're doing like.
I'm absolutely not doing that. Hey, listen. Let me tell you this. As of about last week, and I've been really like, this has consumed my entire life. But it's always has. But like, I realize that this moment might not be replicated for any time soon. And I've made it a mission, and I've even said it today. I said, listen, I don't want this to be, Akademiks and his bias tries to do A, B, and C. I'm trying to get every voice on here. I even said, if there's individuals or personalities or people who are involved and are relevant to the hip-hop conversation, that even if I don't get along with, the platform, I don't even think this platform and all the power that I feel is within it right now belongs solely to me. And I've actually offered it to say, hey, I don't care if me and whoever gets along. I'd rather, hey, just give you the platform for you to get another point of view out, because this is a unique time. And I've always just remembered, like, even when, going back to look at Jay-Z and Nas, a lot of people looked at a Hot 97 poll. You get what I mean? And if I'm going to be a part of the platform that is in any shape or form that influences this battle, I want to do my very best to try to be neutral, even beyond my personal.
Oh my God!
bias.
Can you, bro? I'm telling you, are you telling me right now that Akademiks, bro? That sounds like some, dare I say, maturity, bro?
No, of
Are
course.
you realizing the weight of your platform? What the fuck is going on?
No.
This is not what the
I realized it recently, but I ain't gonna lie. I realized it recently because I don't think the majority of people here showing up are just like chat niggas who want to just see act. I think they're hip hop fans wanted
there
to
it
see the
is. You're being
conversation.
consumed in a different way. Like
Yes.
people are taking you seriously, and you have a big voice. People calling you to break record. It's a lot of people around there. Just to be honest, that's maybe a little shaky about how this whole thing elevated you. And, we're going to be toxically competitive no matter what happens. So,
And by the way, I've seen a couple people talk shit, and trust me, you know me. I would have went in on them. I forgave them all. And I actually am inviting them to come on here to, listen, don't think that I'm trying to own the discussion. I actually want to lend the platform. This is why, like, again, I got my shit off. I'm going to do my little lyric breakdown, my this, my that, but I could just sit here and rant and rave and try to like twist and contort maybe a narrative that I want to push. But I think it's important that I try to call everybody in my contact list. And I don't know too many people. I know you. I know my man Carl Cherry. Should I hit Joe? I want to get Elliot Wilson on here. No, Charlamagne was on yesterday. But I do know there are other people who maybe we don't see eye to eye, or maybe we never communicate. I just want to open it up to them because I could easily be like, all right, got you fuckers. Like, yeah, you niggas need but I think this moment is way bigger than me. I honestly really feel so.
I agree. That's dope as shit, bro. All right, well, man, good. But look, keep doing your shit. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's actually a level up. Like, it's dope to see. It's dope to see because, look, everybody talk about whether or not beef is good for the game or whatever like that. But the reality is all of this energy and excitement and conversation around hip-hop, man, that affects you and your career. If we still had magazines and publications, it would affect them. We don't really have them. It affects the media. It's very important that for the game to be healthy, that the game is talked about and people are into it. I'm not in hip-hop media. I'm literally just a fan. But even with me, I can feel the energy. So keep capitalizing on that shit, bro.
All right. Thank you, bro.
No problem, man. Peace.
All right. Yeah, chat. I stand on that absolutely. Like this moment we're having now, when I look up and I see 100,000 people watching, like, again, I think I'm entertaining, but I don't think I'm that entertaining. I think you guys are here for actual conversations, and yeah, I might have a little bias, which this is the reason why I'm trying to reach out to everybody else to counter it, right? Like, I would love to have voices just to balance out, the narrative or the platform. Okay. All right. Yeah, we might get Carl. By the way, my man Carl Cherry, I seen him tweet out recently. It looks like, the DSP games are... Actually, let me try to get Carl on right now. The DSP games are on. So, apparently... And by the way, he's working, so I don't know if he's like... Is he at the crib working or he's at Spotify headquarters? He says Kendrick, Not Like Us, and Meet the Grahams, right, are both on streaming services. They're both on Spotify, which, honestly, I haven't had any conversations with the people behind putting these records out in terms of how they are going to get disseminated. I just want to thank the labels involved. I want to thank the artists involved, the managers, all the other people. They've allowed for us to be able to play this on all platforms. There was a time, and I said this to Joe, I said this to Joe yesterday on the pod, there was a time that people viewed, like, if we have 100,000 people on stream and we play a record, you know what they think? Damn, every time you do it, that's 100,000 streams we just missed out on, right? And that was a thought of the music industry for a long time, so they really weaponized, or they used to go against streamers or people who are YouTubers. I'm going to be honest with you, they haven't given me any problems. They haven't given me any problems. I could even tell when they drop, they know people who are going to be streaming or other content creators are going to be like, playing it this and third, and they're allowing it before, after a while, they're going to be like, yo, come on now, it's on streaming services. Anyway, let me see if I can get my man Carl Cherry on, and, let me get Whack 100 on. Get Whack 100 on.
Yo.
Whack!
What up, man?
What's the score, man? What's going on, man? Talk to me.
We got it. Kendrick's a W this last one. He finally gave me that West Coast rip his head off shit. This last one is, I got to get it last round of Kendrick.
Is it because
it's
of
the last song? I think Drake gonna drop either midnight or by the time we wake up in the morning. He coming by tomorrow for sure.
No, I actually want Drake to take a little while. Because I didn't know that Kendrick had a little club banger in the back pocket. Mustard came through. I didn't know it was gonna go down like this. By the way, Wack, you had said before you thought Drake was leading. What did
I tell you? I said Drake was leading, but I told you I think Kendrick was gonna finish it. I told you that. It's like he been painting his little picture. He's been writing his little story. And now he done got back to what's easy for him. This shit he just dropped, this easy for him. It's easy for him and easy for us to understand and easy for us to grab. What you think?
No, I ain't gonna lie. He kind of dropped a little club bang. Hey, you know why I know this song is gonna move? I see people dancing to it already. I got mad people in my DMs like, yo, this shit. Hey, Rick Ross is playing this at a pool party. They're moving to this song, which I'm like, ooh, a lot of the songs that Kendrick dropped, you had to listen and think. If people watching it on stream,
I wasn't feeling none of that. This shit, this is what it is. This is the West.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey, listen, I don't know how to do none of the West Coast little dances and shit, but I felt like my body was starting to move like that hearing this track. The West Coast finally came out of it.
Bro, his delivery and everything was back on point. You know what I'm saying? Back on point. It's like he might have been touring with him. You know, it's like he did to Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, the rope-a-dope. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
let him exhaust what he had, because Drake got to come with a different sound now. If he come with that basic Drake shit, it ain't gonna work. He got to come with something. He got to come with something we ain't expecting. You know that, act.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Did you think that Kendrick was gonna keep dropping back to back to back? Like, Jesus.
I didn't know. Look, I didn't know his clip was loaded. And from what I understand, he got an extendo.
Stop it. Nah.
Yeah.
You think he got more?
I know he got an extendo over there.
Hey, you know, I call AD. I've been trying to hit up a couple West Coast, you know, people and everything. I see everybody from the West celebrating this because they like how Kendrick approached it, but they feel this is exactly what the West was expecting from Kendrick. So you're saying he delivered, right?
He delivered on this one, but we can't take away that Drake, he let some information go, and we don't know if it's real or not in that last one. So, you know.
Wait, what info? What info?
See. He said a lot of shit about what might not be, what may be this.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he was BSing. I don't think Dave Free is the father of Kendrick Kid. Like, come on.
Hey, bro, listen. I did see a follow-unfollow. I did see that.
Nah, Wack. Nah.
It's a fact.
Hey, here's the thing, though. You see, Kendrick been married for however long. Whatever problems him and his missus have.
But I don't know, though. Is he married or is it just his fiance?
But it don't matter. She not
It does matter. There's no common law in California. Is he married or is it his fiance?
Well,
I don't know. Is he married? I don't know.
Well, play this. The only way this could help Drake is if she gets messy. She been holding this down the whole time. There's one, like, I guess she had wrote like a little paragraph back in the day that people keep going to. She hasn't came to the internet. She's not like some young chick who gonna come to the internet like, oh, I'm exposing Kendrick because he's cheating on me. We never knew Kendrick cheated.
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
we didn't know Kendrick cheated until he said it on the album.
We still don't know if he cheated.
No, he said it. He said he cheated with some white girls.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He said he cheated, and he said his woman checked him and said, "You have a problem." And he said he started asking himself if he was racist, which was kind of like, I don't know what that got to do with it, because I guess he was having like fun just fucking white girls. So he was cheating, but he was only cheating with white girls.
Why the fuck is that racist?
I don't know. That's what he put. He rapped that on his last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
You know. Yeah, man.
And
Yo.
What up?
Yo. Drake got a drop by tomorrow, bro.
Nah, hey, listen, Kendrick right now, he's letting off the whole. Hey, whack. I ain't no street nigga, but I've seen movies. Hey, if
So
niggas
you think he running for cover?
No,
Drake.
What I'm saying is, them niggas is going up and they're circling the block and spraying the block up. You don't start your offense until their offense is done. Right now, bunker down.
That's a fact.
Like
them niggas that nigga got an extendo over there with bottomless bullets. He got bottomless bullets. He got some shit over there.
And let me ask you, why you think Kendrick gotta hate this guy? He's calling him a sexual predator. You see the cover art for this last one? He literally has the cover as Drake's house with the pedophile map pointers in there, basically saying, "Yo, this is where the pedophile lives." It's no way.
Here go the thing, though. To be a pedophile, the female has to be under.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's alluding to something. Obviously, like, you know, I don't believe Drake is, you know, on no weird shit.
I
you know
hear
what I mean?
his security, one of his securities. This is what I'm hearing. I don't know.
You said one of the security what?
Got something on their jacket. Some pedophile shit. This is what I'm hearing.
I think they told my Baca.
Who?
So there's a guy, he's an artist too, but they also call him like a goon or a security guy. His name is Baca. He went to jail before for some human trafficking. So he did 13 years for human trafficking.
What was it? Was it for minors?
I don't know if it was for minors.
See, pedophile is minors.
Well,
rape is rape.
Well, here's the thing. I think they keep saying that Drake is 37, and like even recently, Drake was, you know, pictured with Lotto's sister. Lotto's sister is 21. We haven't seen Drake.
That's not a pedophile. Hey, bro, listen, nigga. I'm a gangster, homie, and I'm an ex-con. It's not a pedophile, bro.
Well, they're trying to say he's creepy.
I don't give a fuck if you 68 and she 25. That's not a pedophile.
I agree, but they're turning they're using the creepy label. Yo,
you can't turn nothing, bro. 21 is legal. Now, nigga, if you think it's distasteful, that's cool. But 21 is legal.
Yeah. So the next thing how they're looking at it is that apparently there was an artist named Millie Bobby Brown that was 16. She's an artist, like or like she's a celebrity. Like I guess she acts or she sings or something. When she was a child star, 16, Drake would text her like, "Yo, hey, you know, I hope you know accomplish your goals, whatever." They found it weird because apparently she told people that Drake was texting her, and people said, "Why are you texting a 16-year-old?"
Bro, Did they just say that the text was him motivating her?
Yeah, but apparently one of the texts had said, "Hey, I really miss you." He never said I want to fuck you. He said I really miss you, and they thought that's kind of weird.
What was the whole? I mean, do we know the family? Do the family know him?
Oh, apparently she was 14. That's what everybody keeps spamming in my chat. They said she was 14.
See, but with 16 to 14, they gotta have their facts in order, bro. Playing with a nigga name like that, that's just real.
I agree because they play with his name. Hey, by the way, a separate point. Your best friend was just on a podcast.
Who that?
Benzino, and he said some stuff about R. Kelly, and he basically people been giving him some fire and
No, he on some bullshit. If he mentioned R. Kelly name one more time, I'm gonna let the content go. R. Kelly is not in there for no 13, 14-year-old, bro. The fuck he get that dumb shit from? R. Kelly's in there in federal prison because a lot of us don't know. 32 states are age 16. Legal age of consent is like 12, 17, the rest 18. But the federal law of the land, they don't give a fuck what the state law is 18. 18. Like New Jersey is 16. New York is 17. If the feds want to step in and say, we're charging you because the federal law of the land is 18, they can. If the feds want to come to California and take everybody that got a weed dispensary to jail tomorrow, they can. State law does not supersede fed law. Benzino don't know what the fuck he talking about. But what we can talk about is why you crawled around the ground. I released the audio. I got the video. Fake stabbing yourself, begging the broad not to call the police for all the weirdo shit you was doing.
Yo, this nigga whack.
You say one fucking word, I'm gonna let the content go.
Yo, whack you something else. Hey, what do you
That's
think?
a fact.
Hey, what do you think Drake should do? So Kendrick is calling Drake a pedophile. What do you think Drake should do? I think there's no way you could rap back at somebody when they're calling you a pedophile.
I got this thing, bro. I never entertain a lie. Unless the lie is a charge, then my legal will entertain it. Because if you entertain a lie, then you give the lie life. I would entertain a lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's me personally.
Hey, who do you have most likely winning this, no matter how it goes?
I told you Kendrick a long time ago. I told you that. I said Drake was up a couple days ago, 4 or 5 days, whatever it was. But overall, I believe Kendrick gonna pull it out. I told you that.
No.
I mean, we gotta see, bro. Like, see, one thing I know, Kendrick has a pen.
Yeah.
He got a pen. He has his own pen.
Yeah.
So we gotta see.
All right. Hey, Wack, I gotta pull up on y'all on the 100 side, man. You gotta give me a time and date.
I'm gonna call you tomorrow. We're gonna set it up for next week.
All right, bet. Let's do it.
I got Vlad coming tomorrow. I'll do you after Vlad.
All right, bet. I'm with it.
All right, love. All right.
Okay. Jesus. I'm trying to get Mustard on here. He produced the beat, but I'm also, I get it. Like, I'm not trying to fuck up nobody's creative process. Kendrick, for whatever reason, he's been very secluded and very private. I don't want to get Mustard on here and try to question him about some teeth. It wouldn't be nothing really other than, how did this happen? When did he get the beat? When the fuck did shit really go down? Okay. Real quick. So now on DSPs, and I'll put it over here that y'all can see it, is that Kendrick has released both of them. I'm gonna be honest with you, yo. Look at the numbers that Kendrick's song has gotten, bro. I can't tell what should be my conclusion with Kendrick numbers. Look, Kendrick Lamar. I can't tell what my conclusion should be. 4 hours, 7 million views. What the fuck? 4 hours, 7 million views. This song is moving faster than Meet the Grahams that did in a day 12 million views. This song is his most viewed or the fastest moving song. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, give me a second because I gotta go get a refill real quick. Because Taylor made Freestyle, which I really like, came before all this action, it feels so outdated. We can't even play it. But we're gonna do Family Matters, Drake. Let me run this real quick while I go get some shit. By the way, he's at if we're doing numbers count, 10.3 million on Family Matters by Drake. And what did Kendrick drop at the same time, right? He had dropped 616, I believe. Right? No. He dropped Meet the Grahams. That's at 12 million. So, remember he dropped it like 15 minutes after Drake dropped this? Drake is actually, even though it's number one on trending, Drake is losing the views battle. It's kind of crazy. I'm being honest. Which is also interesting. It shows number one on trending, and Drake is number one trending for music. So Kendrick is number one trending overall. Drake is number one trending in the music category. That is fucking crazy. That's nuts, eh? That is nuts. Michael Mullen, thank you for the 5. Says, I'm Team Drake. Drake gonna have to say he smashed his wife. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to come to that. Lee Fraser, thank you for the 5. Says, 14 or 16 is a minor. Wax sounds like a creep. It's disgusting. We need better men in the world. Let me see what else. Patrick Brathwaite, he say, y'all really need to read more history and theory. Didn't listen to the album either. Who is this guy? It's racist because K-Dot said he felt like he was doing it to get revenge / trophies against whites through their women. Okay, so it's okay. He said, the racism part was he felt like he was fucking them to get revenge, not necessarily for like some selfish personal thing. Chandler Ross, thinking for the 5, he says, why now? Because he got into rap beef trying to act gangster. Not just a cute melody either. What are you talking about, girl? What else? 1G Geek says Future's not important. What the hell? I guess he's responding to what Van Lathan said. Okay, let's run this real quick, chat. Let me play this while I go grab like a refill real quick.
And Drake just stopped the entire hip-hop world in a way
Shout out to
that
Fantastic
hasn't
Hip Hop, by the
been
way.
seen in decades, as they exchanged some of the most mind-boggling diss tracks of not just their own careers,
So
but in
recap.
the entirety of rap's over 50-year history. And while it's undeniable that these two titans going head-to-head as they dropped entire records just minutes apart from each other will go down in history as an all-time legendary moment, what everybody is talking about right now is who dropped the better musical nuke, and when you look at each song and see them for what they truly are, you'll find out that while both of these tracks are going to dominate the cultural spotlight for quite some time, only one is going to be remembered as the true victor that didn't just change this feud, but the entirety of hip-hop as a whole. So when it comes to everything that just went down between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, it's safe to say that May 3rd, 2024 is gonna go down as one of the most memorable days in hip-hop history, as after Kendrick kicked things off with a scathing diss track at Drake in the multi-layered, eye-opening 616 in LA. Drake fired back towards the end of the day with his response to both of Kendrick's recent diss tracks with the cut Family Matters, and not even an hour after this, Kendrick came right back with his second diss track in a single day with the cut Meet the Grams, and oh my god. Between the way Drake fired back at everything not just Kendrick Lamar but all of the other artists dissing him have been saying, to Kendrick's final response, I don't know if there's ever been more disses thrown out in such a small period of time, but beyond the sheer amount of full-blown punches being thrown, the weight of these attacks just took things to an entirely new place. And when it comes to bringing things to the next level, while Kendrick Lamar predicted that Drake was gonna take things into a nasty place, this didn't stop his diss track Family Matters from creating a storm of controversy, as from the video where he heavily trolls Kendrick to all the rappers he disses. This song showcased to us how Drake is handling being at the beef in this point where the stakes are so high, and while Drake's pen game here is not as layered, calculated, or as multifaceted as Kendrick's was on the disses that came his way leading up to this song has still lit a fire in the hip-hop world by, first off, responding back to Rick Ross and his diss track Champagne Moments, A$AP Rocky, who dissed Drake on Future and Metro Boomin's second album We Still Don't Trust You. And speaking of this project, Drake of course still comes at Future, Metro, and The Weeknd here, and while we are definitely here for the main event, as Drake clowns A$AP Rocky and flips back what he said to diss him and Rihanna. And then following this, ultimately shuts down any moves Rocky can make by talking about how he hardly drops music anymore. It's safe to say that he put a close to this short exchange, and his disses for Rick Ross, Metro, and The Weeknd were formidable. Although I think this track makes it clear that Drake is either scared of Future, as maybe he knows something we don't, or he's still trying to save their relationship so they can collab after all of this, because he really holds his punches on him. But overall, despite this song being pretty lengthy at 7 minutes and 37 seconds, I think with Drake once again spending so much time dissing a rapper who doesn't drop music, a singer, a producer, and also by sparing the person who started this all in Future. Despite how good some of these jabs may be, it seems like an overall odd thing to do here when you consider the fact that Kendrick just released over 9 minutes of material throwing straight dirt on your name, and when you really think about this song in the greater sense. From all these disses, which just feel like a way to pad out the runtime, to the hook of the first section, which is repeated multiple times like this is trying to be a club banger and not a diss track. It feels like a good portion of this record is just filler as a diss track, and it's really trying to offer spectacle over substance, and this is especially reflected in the fact that Drake literally made an entire music video for the track, where he crushes the Good Kid Mad City van, which, don't get me wrong, is definitely hilarious. But I think the beef is beyond the point where Drake can rely on gimmicks and jokes like this to take a stance against Kendrick, and as this was something that Lamar clowned him directly for. It only seems like by doing this, Drake is only further validating everything his rival said. Now beyond the video, the catchy hooks, bridges, and all the name drops he makes, when Drake does go at Kendrick here, throughout all 3 of the track's sections, he's trying to shock everybody listening by revealing some major dirt on Kendrick, and there are some insane things that Drake says here for sure. But as Kendrick already predicted that Drake was gonna make some outrageous claims.
But I'm at the crib.
What, isn't today Saturday?
Yeah, but you know, the superstars drop, you gotta be ready. Just like last night, you know, Family Matters dropped on Spotify. I had to do what I had to do.
Do you have to playlist those songs, or do you playlist those songs or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to. They're the most relevant songs of the moment. So I'm not gonna wait till Monday just because I'm off. I'm gonna just drop them in right there. Like, you know, the songs dropped on other platforms first, right? So everyone's wired to just go there. But on a day-to-day, they use Spotify, they use other platforms, so you got to let them know it's there. And one of the ways to create an entry point is the playlist, right? Some of them might not know. They might click on Rap Caviar, and all of a sudden, oh, shit, Family Matters is on there. Oh, shit, Not Like Us is on there.
And by the way, I'm actually interested, which I think this is probably just a larger discussion. I'm wondering how the labels feel about how these guys are releasing music, which for me it's absolutely fine, right? Because you know they're allowing it to get eaten up and digested and regurgitated by the, you know, say a streamer like me or other people who are within the content space, because that's where a lot of discussions happening. And then later it does get to DSPs though, because that's how, primarily where, the record labels and the artists themselves make their money. Usually it's they're diametrically opposed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
I think it's a different conversation when you're talking about Drake and Kendrick, because they're the tier, like the A plus stars.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that case, they're just calling the shots. It's more so about what they want to do, and the label supports them. I think it would be a different conversation if it was maybe an artist at an earlier stage. I think because it's Drake and Kendrick, we're just going to consume whatever it is. But I'm glad you brought this up, because I remember my reaction when I first heard that, ironically, an album that's connected to this was going to drop, followed by a second drop. When I first heard that Future and Retro were dropping 2 albums in a row, my reaction was, you're going to cannibalize yourself. It's too much music. But that's the difference, right? Like, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but that has to be like 40 songs between 2 projects or something like that. Mm-hmm. Rather than, instead of, we've gotten on DSPs specifically, we've gotten 2 songs from Drake and 3 songs from Kendrick. So it's 5 songs. Not too bad.
Yo, I feel like it's been so many songs.
It's been more because of Taylor Made and 616.
Exactly.
So it's been more.
Let me just start off by asking you, what do you feel right now? Again, you're probably in the middle of working, but you have to program in Not Like Us, and that's a different sounding record than we've heard from Kendrick.
Yeah.
In this whole thing, what are you thinking, man?
Well, in terms of what, I can go in a million directions. You mean where we're at now? Who's in the lead? Like, what are we talking about?
How does this battle look to you on a narrative perspective, and also being someone who cares about the records that come out? And when I mean cares about it, you also probably listen to these records and say, well, Family Matters is a record that's about 7 minutes long with 3 beat switches, but it's pretty catchy. And then you think about, if we're talking about Meet the Grahams, which I don't think that is that on streaming platforms. I don't know if it is, but
it is now.
Oh wow, okay, so that's more of an eerie type joint. How are you viewing really this back and forth?
Okay, this is perfect. Let's start with the music and how it sounds, right? Because Like That is the first record, really, and Like That, Metro makes Rap Caviar type of production, right? But Like That has a slightly different feel to it. But that was easy, right? Put it on the top of the playlist. It does well immediately. Same thing for Push-Ups. But again, it's Drake, who's performed very well historically in Rap Caviar. And, the production is in line with a lot of the stuff that's on the playlist. The first interesting thing was Euphoria. Because think about the way it starts, right?
It's slow.
So I listened to it, and I'm like, but obviously I heard it a couple hours before, right?
Oh, by the way,
because it was on.
I am cutting you off, but hey, I just seen Not Like Us get that number 1 spot. I want to talk about that record a lot, but go ahead. Bring it up. I have rap. Hey, by the way, if you guys have Spotify, make sure you are subscribed to Rap Caviar. I keep telling you, this is my man Carl Cherry. He's not only responsible for Rap Caviar, but that is the flagship playlist of Spotify, and my man does an amazing job of being fair, unbiased, neutral, and he's just a genuine lover of music, trying to make sure that his curation tactics is going to matter for everybody in the world, not just people that might lean one way or the other. Go ahead though, brother.
So Euphoria sounds very slow, right? And the way streams are counted, the listener has to get through the first 30 songs and it counts for a stream, right? But the
first 30 seconds, you mean? Yeah.
Sorry, first 30 seconds. The intro of Euphoria is what, like 90 seconds, maybe?
Yeah,
like a minute, right? So what? And I'm gonna step on your not like us question with what I'm about to say, and then we can get into it, right? The way I've been trying to reflect the battle as much as possible is just like some kind of chronology and some kind of fairness, right? Like, so push up drop, like that drop, it was at the top of the playlist. Push up drop, I put it on top of like that. So it's like it's a reverse chronology, right? The most recent song goes on top, but then the other song is right under, so it's connected, and people get if they're not familiar, they get the context from both songs, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought about Euphoria, and I was like, oof, how's that gonna do? But obviously, because of the magnitude of the battle, the instinct is you just go on top of the playlist. And let me tell you, it performed fantastically, just like all the other songs so far. Push Ups is done incredible, Like That is done incredible. So I think right now, it's not necessarily about the way the music is sounding. It's more so about how invested people are in the battle. Like, there's a range of sound between all of those songs, and they're all performing well.
Let me ask you a question. I think Drake realizes the game and realizes that, hey, in public narrative, which he knows this battle will be determined by, hey, when all those headlines went out to say Euphoria got the biggest single day globally of all hip-hop songs, I think he knew, I need to beat that to let people know I'm winning this battle. Family Matters drops, and quickly it was on DSPs. We won't get a report probably maybe until tomorrow, I believe, of what it actually did. But here comes Kendrick immediately with a song, Not Like Us.
You know what I'm gonna do, Act? You know what I do for you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you in real time how many streams Family Matters has on Spotify right now.
Really? Oh, let's go.
It's currently at 4.8 million.
4.8 million Family Matters right now. Globally? Globally?
Globally.
Wait, hold on though. But I don't know if does it reset at midnight or 3 a.m. Like,
so this is total. So it's going up, right?
Yeah.
So by the time we hang up, it's gonna be at 5. Right. Right now, I'm seeing literally the numbers go up. I have this app that shows me all of the songs on Spotify and how they're performing on platform. Right. So right now it's going up. Family Matters was so Drake dropped what time last night?
He dropped like right before midnight.
Yeah, so it's a wonky thing to calculate because of the time. So I don't know that 4.8 number is reflective of a full day yet.
Yeah,
those numbers I'm not gonna get until probably Monday when I get back to the office. But we talked about it the last time I jumped on the live. Like, it's a little tricky to count those streams just the way they're dropping. They're dropping off cycle, different weird times and stuff like that. So it's a little tricky.
Hey, well, we talked about it. We anticipate that Drake got to beat that. That 9.8, that 9.8 or 9 point whatever,
9.2.
9.2. I'm sorry. That 9.2 mil, Drake got to beat. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, first of all, let me get your opinion on Family Matters. Then I want you to get your opinion on Not Like Us. Just you listen to the songs. And by the way, for everybody who's listening, I'm with Carl Cherry, just an avid music listener, avid, curator in terms of, he works with Spotify, but clearly a guy who loves music, period. This is a guy just like me, probably just like you, if you're watching this stream right now on a Saturday night. You are listening to music for a majority of your day. You work out and listen to music. You work and listen to music. Music is a heavy part of your life. I'm asking you now, Carl. What was your opinion of both of those tracks when you first heard it, and even after a couple listens?
Okay, so like push-ups for me, Family Matters kept getting better with every listen. First listen, at first I'm just catching a vibe. The beat is hard, and Drake is just swagging on it, right? But the more I listened to it, the more I started I settled in and I was like, all right, this is fire. Now I want to break it down by target, right? I don't think the Kendrick jabs landed well. I think the strength of that record, or more so because of the other jabs, like Rocky got flamed the fuck up.
I agree. I agree.
Like that. And the funny thing about the Rocky part is that we all knew he was coming, and we all knew what Drake had to say. Because I think we all reacted the same way when he said, yeah, I hit your BM first. It's like, wait, why are you saying that? You know how he can respond. But the way Drake said it was so slick. The acknowledging the white boy and turning it into like everybody's waving the white flag when everyone's singing along to it. Like,
I thought that was brilliant. That was genius. That was genius.
Hard. That was one of the hardest songs on the track. I'm gonna be honest. I know everyone involved. I don't know Drake personally, but I know his camp. I know Kendrick and people on that side. I'm not comfortable discussing the more personal lines on it. To me, it just went to a place where I was like, ooh, can we just keep it to the sport?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even trying to touch that. But it did feel like those jabs to me didn't land as well as everything else that Drake did. But the song itself is hard.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still digesting that song. That song to me is really good. Push Ups is a personal favorite, but the more I keep bumping Family Matters, I'm like, damn, yo, that second beat switch is ain't no goddamn joke. And also that third beat switch is kind of crazy. And of course, we have Kendrick who stepped on it, and he dropped, I believe 6 the timestamp record, correct?
No, so the way he stepped on it was with Meet the Grams.
Oh yeah. See now I'm getting them like in the wrong order. Yeah, Meet the Grams, which to me, listen, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a sucker for some of these cerebral lyrical records. So I like that, but let's focus on the ones that made it to DSP, which is okay. After that record today, he drops Not Like Us. First, I'm not trying to dox you, by the way, but like you're West Coast based, correct?
Yes. So all right. So we haven't even talked about the strategy yet, right? The fact, and I know it's focusing on the fact that the DSP songs, but the fact that he dropped Meet the Grams on top of Family Matters is crazy. The fact that he followed up the next day with Not Like Us is crazy. I was watching the game, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, like everybody else. Like, no one is expecting him to double back and drop another one. And the most interesting thing to me was I was paying attention to the criticisms around not like Us, around Meet the Grams. And it was kind of the same thread that people have been saying all week, right? Some people want Kendrick to be more direct. Some people
want him to double down.
Highbrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not into psychological warfare. Like they're not getting the point. Like they're seeing some of the lyrics that are straightforward, and they're simplifying them. They don't see the depth in it, right? But then for him to follow up with a record that's just like a party song, like more down the middle, that's more fun. I feel like him leaning into the West Coast sound, having Mustard on the production, switching his flow where he's sounding like he's a Bay dude for a little bit. It was a response in itself to just like, you know, I get more love in your city and in you, Pop being part of the thread throughout, like, you know, The Ring, the tailor-made freestyle with the AI. So,
by the way, I think he attempted to do. I think he was always predicting Drake, and he had moves for every possible Drake move. And I think that after the Taylor, the Meet the Families dropped, he had a record to really go in depth to kind of change that convo. But what he really wanted to drop, so I really look at that Meet the Grams drop. That's like a mid round drop, just like I've called 616. His next record he wanted to drop was 100% Not Like Us, but he was gonna drop that if Drake was gonna drop again. But I think he probably saw some smoke signals that maybe Drake is down to leave this alone, because Drake literally said, "Yo, hey, y'all niggas better come better next time, but I'm about to go on vacation," right? Like, you know, I think that's them saying, no, nigga, cancel that vacation. Cancel, no, we got our whole clip loaded. Cancel that shit.
Yo, so I had the same thought. I had a similar thought. I was like, okay, he dropped too fast last night. 20 minutes after or something like that. So clearly he had it ready, right? And for him to come back today, I was like, okay, so I know nothing for certain. This is me speculating. But I thought, okay, like, he must have several songs ready, maybe even several versions of songs, like to counter everything that Drake does in several scenarios. Okay, Drake might do, like, think about it. Me and you have been doing this for a week, 2 weeks. On the phone, texting, mapping out scenarios. You don't think they're both doing the same thing?
No, 100%.
Of course they are, right?
Hey, again, you know, and I said this before. I think I said it to you too. I've been playing that Chris Tucker thing. Yo, why y'all ain't tell me this nigga rolls like this? I know Drake is 100% locked in. Like he's a thinker. He's probably consulting and talking to the people who he probably feels has the best angles. He probably has cooked up 50 million strategies. If he goes here, there's 2 outs. Make sure you have this prepared for this and this prepared. I didn't think Kendrick was doing the same.
I'm gonna be honest, that's surprising to me, because I feel like, I know he doesn't speak publicly a lot, but I feel like he's always presented himself as somebody who's thoughtful and strategic. Like, think about the rollouts and like how surgical they are, right? Like, I feel like everything's intentional. Maybe I'm saying that because I've had behind the scenes conversations with them where I get to see their wheels turning, and I'm picking up like even more context than like most listeners. But I feel like people who've been paying attention to Kendrick for like the past decade or so, they knew he was capable of this. And that's why there was a narrative that, you know, Drake wasn't really ready for the smoke with Kendrick because he's a different animal. Push is a formidable lyricist, but with Kendrick, you also have somebody who's a generational superstar. So it's a different type of impact. That's why we're seeing this battle, come to a stalemate until today, where like the stands on both sides are holding their guy down. So we're not coming to a clear consensus. But he's always been like that, bro. He's always been super thoughtful, super methodical, him and his team. I expected it.
I have a random question, and by the way, completely fine if you can't even give us any insight. Rap Caviar is the biggest playlist in the world. Have you seen any more, or maybe a unusual amount of fan consumption of just even either the music or the playlist because of this back and forth? Because trust me, I'm gonna be honest with you, these days, I only bump these songs. I bump them all in a row. I don't bump nothing else. I'm not trying to listen, hey, listen, I was with some people that they try to squeeze in some boss man D-Lo. I'm like, all right, listen, put that push-ups back on. Come on, drop it, give me 50. Stop playing.
So I'll answer the question. To be honest, it's fine. So that's typically how it works. Like if there's a moment happening in this genre with music, not necessarily this battle, a song that's doing really well, an album or whatever, and it's on a playlist, not just Rap Caviar, all playlists on Spotify, it does drive consumption.
Wow, okay.
So I'm going to take it back, Ak. I don't know if you remember, we had a billboard that came out a couple weeks ago about hip-hop still being number one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that was a response to the narrative that hip-hop is declining.
Yes.
I've been plotting that billboard since February.
Okay.
You know why?
Because by the way, I want to slow people down. I also don't know if people realize that maybe your involvement in even Rap Caviar doesn't just stop at a playlist. Like, you guys are a platform, right? Like you guys have produced content. You guys are responsible for way more. Like, I mean, you guys also team up with artists and sponsor shows. Like, it's way more than just a playlist. There's a lot of activations and other things that go into what Rap Caviar is. I don't know if people know that. That's want to be open.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first sign I saw this year was 21 Savage, the American Dream album. It did really, really well, and you saw a boost, right? And then Vultures. That Carnival, was a monster.
Really?
Yes. It was nuts. It was the. I'm gonna tell you this, because I was upset about the narrative about rap's decline because we still had market share and we were still number one. But in reality, I thought that the music hadn't been as good for a while, right?
Wait, Carnival is that big?
Oh, Carnival was a monster, bro. Carnival was the monster. Carnival, the numbers, I won't give you numbers specifically, but Carnival, the streams on Rap Caviar, they're like the biggest streams I've seen in years, like since 2020. It was insane.
And by the way, that was independent, correct?
You said what?
That was independent because that's Ye's project. It's independent.
Yes, independent. Bro, so independent that day, when Carnival dropped, Justin LeBoy had to put me on the phone with Ye so I can get all the details to get the album up on a Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, no. When I tell you that it's independent, they gave me the name of a platform I had never heard before. There is no backing. It was independent. But let me get back to what I'm saying.
Good.
But yes, the long-winded answer is yes. Obviously, it happens in general, but these songs are so massive, all of them, right? Like That is massive. Euphoria, Push-Ups did incredible. Family Matters is doing well so far. Like, all of these songs, I mean, you're seeing it, right? It's probably affecting back catalogs for these artists. Like, we're all, we're up, right? All of us. Like, it's going to sound cliche, but all of this is good for hip-hop. Like, you've been, one of the most relevant media, personalities for a while. You're up. Like, this moment is impacting everything.
Yo, Carl, let me tell you this. Hey, my birthday is in 17 days. Everybody keeps saying, hey, where are we going? Turks, we're going here. Yo, I haven't been on a vacation in 2 years. They're like, yo, let's do something. Man, I'm almost about to tell them I'm about to make up another birthday because I'm not going nowhere.
Yo.
Hey, right now, hey, listen, I feel like it belongs to the people. I'm just here to turn the platform on. And, Carl, like, me and you, I know we're going to link personally soon. I appreciate you so much for, even you. Like, I feel like I've brought you on a few times, and you've always just gave just such quality. Like, even off the record, you've always just gave me such amazing content for what a fan like me, and that's how I built my platform. You got to be the person who really cares, and the person who really cares wants to hear like the shit you're saying even now with Carnival, like got my whole stream going crazy. You get what I mean? It's like because that shit that they care about, because most of the shit is fan driven and passion driven. You get me? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I summed it up. Like, I think this battle is historic in so many ways. But one of the things that is driving is consumption, and everyone who's part of it in some capacity is benefiting from it, right? Like, you're benefiting from it, being at the center of it, premiering songs, and being like the main source for like one of the two artists involved. Like, your platform is elevated moving forward. Like, a playlist like Rap Caviar is benefiting because there's more fans going to it to stream all these songs. Like, same with other podcasters. Like, Joe's always up, but same, right? Like, Joe thrives in these scenarios. Like, he's one of the best, if not the best, at breaking down beef. Like, I love Joe's podcast. I am particularly tuned in when there's any kind of tension going on, because Joe has a way of dissecting it. So I just hope that, it stays in the spirit of what it was supposed to be, which is competitive. And not is a thing. Yes. And is a thing that, was missing in hip hop for years, because I feel like the new generation competes more on the lifestyle end of things than like the music. But really we're all benefiting from it.
Yo, Carl, I'll tell you this from my angle. I cover a lot, and anything ancillary to hip hop you might catch me talking about. If it's a necessarily hot topic, you don't know how happy I am that the number one thing I'm talking about, because I've always told people, I said, hey, listen, I cover hip hop, but look at me on Instagram. I got 5 million followers. You know what's way bigger than me? Shade Room.
Yeah.
I'll cover Moneybagg Yo, the artist, and yeah, it works fine on my platform, but the platform covering Moneybagg Yo's girlfriend gets 5 times the amount of engagement. A lot of times, music and excitement around music, it's almost like people don't like talking about music that much unless it. So when now even this, I get it. Sometimes people want a storyline. I'm glad that this is something that hopefully is going to always, remain non-violent. I'm finally glad that when I'm loading up a stream, we're about to talk about music. And if I'm like, yo, I just like how Drake rapping on Family Matters more than how blah, 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 we're talking about music. That's the most exciting thing for me now.
Yeah, well, I think I hope people get inspired from it, right? If you're someone who aspires to be in media, even if it's someone who doesn't agree with you and Joe, right? Then let this moment be inspirational for you to like figure out a way to have your own platform moving forward and cover it the way you see fit. And then if you're an artist, do the same thing. Like, be inspired by how competitive Kendrick and Drake are, and like get in the lab and cook up. Like, that's the other part of it. Like, we are witnessing something historic. We're all gonna remember it, but we also need to use it as a springboard. When this shit died down, what else? Because going back to like Carnival, like, think about it, right? The year's been insane. We're only in May. The 21 Savage was a moment. Carnival was dominating everything for a couple of months. Then Future Metro, and now it's transitioning to Drake and Kendrick.
Wait, can I ask you a question about Carnival?
Yeah.
Is it because of the parties that were involved. You know, I know this Cardi has such a huge fan base.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like, why do you think Carnival was such a hit? Is it because the song was so good? Because I ain't gonna lie, and I've never said this before. When I first heard Carnival, I was very annoyed by the intro. Like that Carnival. Like, I was always annoyed by it, and I always was like, "Are people liking this because of this?" Now Cardi has an amazing verse, and Ye does his thing. But why is it so popular? Go ahead.
So it's the damn chant, man. Like it gets you hooked. Okay. It's I mean, it's weird to say sing along when you're talking about a chant, but the production pulls you in, and the chants are part of the production, right? The energy is insane, right? It's a workout record. Like, workout records get a lot of mileage because you listen to them in all these different settings. You could drive to them, you could work out to them, you go out, you hear them out. Cardi is 100% part of the reason why Carnival was so successful. You know, people are waiting for his project. It's been All Out of Red is what, 2020? It's been 4 years, right? It's been a minute. So Cardi's not like Travis, but it kind of reminds me of like that window between Birds and Astroworld where Travis kind of took a break and fed his fans with features, and like the anticipation like built up to the point where Astroworld just went crazy. I feel like Cardi is doing something similar where like he's making people wait, and if the next project is good, it's gonna completely take over. So yeah, Cardi's part of it, but yeah, I think it's just a fire record. And then like it's the story around it, right? It's you find out that the sample is Kanye literally recorded, I forget the name of like that soccer team in Europe or Ireland or whatever. He literally had these dudes in a room recording the chants. That shit goes viral. It makes people think about how brilliant Kanye is. He goes #1 independently. His first #1 since Stronger, right? So in 17 years solo. So it's all these different checkpoints. First it's the music, it's Cardi, and then it's the album going #1, then it's the viral clip, then it's the song going #1. So it's all these things that happened after the song dropped that kept on feeding the song, so to speak.
Yeah. Hey, okay, so I was really trying to get to this Not Like Us record. Yo.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm a top 5 Drake fan of all time.
Yes.
By the way, I've said that, and by the way, I've always been on challenge, and I've been waiting for people to say there are people that know more Drake or like Drake or are bigger fans than me. Ooh, we can't find it because they know what it is. Anyway, here's the point. This Not Like Us record, this shit is a fucking smash. I wanted to ask you before because it dropped while I'm on stream, and it's rare. It's fucking rare that I ever certify some shit as a hit. Wow, like, yo, listen, let me tell you this. You know how many Drake, people give, I can't remember what album, they were like, oh, you fell asleep. Well, albums come out at midnight, and Drake had released an album at like 2 a.m. one time. Yeah, after 3 listens, the 4th listen, I fell asleep, and they made a meme out of it, but like, I love the album. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, but there's been mad other projects. Even like, say Drake's last project, right? For All the Dogs. Now, the scary hours version, I loved it, whatever. But before, I was a little disappointed. I was like, what's going on? Right? A lot of by the way, in post, I love that fucking album. I say that to say, it's so unfair when albums drop at midnight on Thursday night or Friday morning because, you're forced to almost have like an opinion about a project you've never heard before. And it's not like these niggas playing me the songs Like they send me the song 10 days before. I'm listening to it on stream. I rarely can tell when I like a song immediately.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm trying to say, and this was the point. This motherfucking Not Like Us record, I liked within 20 minutes. This shit is fire. Bro, this shit is bumping. Yo, I told my stream, I said, I gotta go get some refill of my liquor and my orange juice. I go upstairs. Like, I can't. So when I go upstairs, I'm hearing it through my floor. I can't even hear the words no more. It's just the beat. But I'm hearing the doom, doom. I'm like, oh, it still makes me want to dance. I'm like, oh my God, this is a possible hit song. That's what I think. Yeah. Carl, what do you hear?
So it's a dope song. I feel similarly about the song. Like, immediately, clearly a party vibe. I'm looking forward to hearing it in that setting. And, you can kind of, you can kind of forecast the moments in the club setting, right? When, like, the song of the moment is popping.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole club is waiting for certain parts to come on.
Yeah.
So they can just do rap karaoke. That's what's gonna happen. Like the minor line is gonna go crazy. He's gonna have a lot of clubs.
The A minor shit.
It is. It just is catchy as hell. He's gonna have a lot of clubs chanting the OV Hoes thing at the end. Like I'm looking forward to seeing it. I gotta see what it looks like and what it sounds like in that kind of environment, because clearly that's what he was going for. I know Like That's been outside, but he's going for another one that, is gonna get played in that setting, and then he's getting the bars off.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. This record, if he was keeping it in the tuck, and by the way, DJ Mustard killed it. Unfortunately, I know Drake said, I'm not gonna respond. I think he got to come back, and I'm agreeing with Joe Budden.
He really said, "Wow, I missed that." And he told you in confidence, or you said it publicly?
No. What he said, I'm going on vacation. He says it on the record.
Yeah,
like
you're right.
That sounds like, yo, I'm gonna catch y'all niggas later. Y'all tried it, y'all ain't get it. Fuck y'all niggas. I got y'all. Here's what I'm saying. I'm actually with Joe that I believe, no, Drake, you could go dip off for a second. By the way, yo, I'm a reasonable fan. You've given us 3 albums. You gave us an 84 city tour. You've given remixes and verses to everybody in the game. You deserve a goddamn break, and now you got to go beef with this motherfucker. You've dropped a couple songs. Brother, all I want from Drake at this point, timestamp, a drop mic moment. By the way, I don't care what niggas say. I think he did his thing. That's all I want. I do want a timestamp. Joe kind of put that kind of in my ear, and I'm like, I do want a timestamp. That's kind of all I want.
I saw when Joe was saying that, and I thought it was a good idea. I think we're damn near overstimulated right now, especially this week. Like, the fact that they dropped so many records, we're still digesting them. Not even just Not Like Us, like what dropped yesterday. Like, Push Ups is only three weeks old. Like, all of this shit is new. So I think the beef needs to we're spoiled now, right? We have an embarrassment of riches. I think the beef needs to transition into a new phase. So I do think that if he comes back a little later with a timestamp record, it's fine. Like, I just don't know that they're gonna keep dropping songs for months every week.
No, Carl. So then I get into, I think, I apologize for hanging up on you earlier, but yeah, Joe was calm. But on some real shit, like he echoed a lot of sentiments I had. Like for example, in the sense of, well, Drake has nothing to gain but everything to lose.
Yeah.
He has nothing to gain but everything to lose.
Yeah.
So now this guy's painting me as a pedophile. Yeah, I could rap with him, but I'm dignifying the angle that I don't want to be dignified. Also, here's the thing. I've done my thing. Like, why am I keep going at this guy?
The reason to keep going at this guy.
And also, I don't get anything out of this. If I'm Kendrick, I'm Kendrick, I diss this nigga till eternity. Yo, hey, by the way, and you don't gotta answer. You could hit up your research department because I know you have a team.
Yep.
Did any of the songs on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers or any of the features outside of Like That do any numbers compared to what these new songs are doing in terms?
Wait. You say Mr. Morale, or you're saying We Don't Trust You?
I'm saying Mr. Morale and even Like That. What I'm saying is that right now, Kendrick is gaining from this battle based on the fact that people thought he was an underdog. He's going against Drake. Kendrick does not have this motion if it's not juxtaposed to Drake.
Nah, because, you got to go back to humble. So you're isolating Mr. Morale or like his whole career? Cause, yeah,
No. We could take his whole career. Your Spotify. Hold on.
Humble, like all the stars. Like
none of these
huge records.
Huge record. Hold on. You know what motherfucking Euphoria just did? No video, no radio play, no promo behind it. Are you trying to tell me that that's like the same?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But you also can't look at it as if Kendrick is not already a superstar that has hit records and is going number one without being in the battle, because he's done that. It'd be one thing if he was just like a guy that's struggling to go gold and all of a sudden you're doing superstar numbers, but he's already a superstar. So yeah, of course, the context of the battle is going to help the numbers 100%. But again, everybody's up. You just said earlier that for all the dogs, you, the top 5 Drake fan, right? You were disappointed by the first version. And then you like the deluxe that he dropped.
Yo.
Drake is coming off a project that a lot of people, even his fans, even his fans didn't like. And Drake, in the last month, has given us music that a lot of people are enjoying. So he's up too.
No. I actually don't believe that.
You don't believe what?
If I'm Drake, I feel like I'm doing charity work. I'm going to tell you why.
Come on.
But, no, I'm serious.
Okay.
I don't think Kendrick has the same traction without me being involved, without me being juxtaposed to whatever he has going on. I believe that I'm not getting the value out of it that they're getting. I'm the biggest regardless. If I'm not in beef, if I'm not dissing no one, if I drop a random song, I'm going to go get whatever number you said that Drake is doing now. I get that same number. I literally get that same number without any type of confrontation.
Yeah.
These guys are breaking their records only when they're juxtaposed to what I got going on. So you're trying to tell me that I'm benefiting from them? It feels like they're benefiting from me.
I think at least from not numbers wise, right? Because I think the numbers that Drake is doing now, I agree, they're probably similar to this type of. Actually,
yo, Kendrick has never beaten Drake in numbers. Yo, hold on, wait. Kendrick has never beaten Drake in numbers, period. In his life, in his alternate reality, in his dream, in his nightmares. But now he is.
Go ahead. Remember 2017 when More Life came out in March and Damn came out in April? right? So that's the one time.
Hey.
Because we talked about this. We agree. Drake is the biggest rapper of his generation. We agree on that.
Hey, no, you saying that you either watch the stream reminder or my Vlad interview, because you're right. I ain't gonna lie, that is right. Go ahead, take it. Go ahead.
So actually, I'm taking it back. He is up because the songs that generated traction from For All the Dogs. If I just use Spotify, right, first person shooter, Rich Baby Daddy, I Don't Give a Fuck. Those songs did well. Push Ups is performing better than those songs. Family Matters is gonna do better than those songs. So yeah, they're both up.
Yeah, but play this. Without me, Kendrick would not be doing these numbers, period. So he's...
Come on, man. It's okay. Like, bro, everybody's up.
No, that matters, though. Because I put it like this. If I'm beefing with someone, and maybe I get a 15% increase while they get a 180% increase, I'm like, yeah, we're both up. But it's doing more for you than it's doing for me. Drake's already the biggest in the world. Again, this is why I agree with Joe. There is nothing he could win, only what he could lose.
So let's be fair. I think we're both right. Here's what I mean. They are both up in the context of this battle, but if you drop like that, the exact same song, and there's not a Drake diss in it, it probably doesn't do the same numbers. It does very, very well because it's a fire song, but the diss, makes it drives curiosity. It pulls people in.
Okay.
But it's still Future, it's still Metro, it's still Kendrick, so you can't completely discredit them because they've gone number one before. So just to be dismissive and say like, nah, they can't do those kind of numbers without dissing Drake, that's not true. They've gone number one. They both have. Well, if Drake was on the stream right now, he's like, well, both times Future went number one, I was on it. Yes. But Kendrick is going number one before.
I think Kendrick has an incentive to continue this issue and beef with Drake. And if I'm Drake, I'm like, yeah, it's dope to have this legacy point that I beef with this guy who's also this, backpacker rapper that you know what I mean? Yeah, he has his fame, but he's known as a quintessential MC, but like, what do I really get out of this? I'm already number one. Like, to be honest, I could not respond to this guy and I'll still be number one. Like,
sorry, nah, I'm listening.
Yeah, no, he didn't have to respond. He would still be number one. I'm not seeing what Drake gets out of this.
So at this point, I understand, right? Because you can two options. You can make a comeback, but it does feel like he's in a hole right now that's going to be hard to climb out of, or you fall back, right? I think we've seen enough. As much as I'm enjoying the battle, like, that's a lot of music for us to enjoy. And I think that the next step is for them to go into the cycle of whatever is the next thing that they're doing, right? Like, there's no way Drake's not dropping an album at some point this year. When is that going to happen? Maybe that's when we get the timestamp record. I feel like both sides maybe need to transition into, dropping like subliminals on songs and, here and there, and maybe not give us full songs. But here's what I think. We're too far gone. What, you said what?
We're too far gone. This is a time of we're going at each other. We're not doing subliminals anymore.
But you know what I mean. Well, so let's think. Like, okay, so after Takeover and Ether, you don't think that Jay-Z and Nas were still jabbing at each other? Yeah, it was subliminals. Everyone knew who they were jabbing at, but it was subs. That's fine. You don't have to like call his name out every time. But here's the thing, that we haven't talked about. I think we've been isolating this battle without talking about the stakes. And you know what's at stake?
What? Tell me.
The throne. If Kendrick is declared the clear winner in a battle, he seizes hip-hop's throne. Officially. Not based on sales, but based on having gone head-to-head with the person that's been occupying the throne most of the past decade. And here's how it happens, right? This is step one, the battle. You have Kendrick up, right? Like, everybody has Kendrick up today, right? Everybody. Yes?
Are you asking my rating?
Yeah. Yes, what's the rating?
24 hours ago, Drake was up. Today, I would say Kendrick is up. Not by he ain't up 10. He ain't up 15, 20. But he might be up by like 5 or 6.
All right, so he's up, right? So, hypothetical scenario. This is the end of the beef, this phase, right? Kendrick won. He's on the throne. Second phase, Drake drops the album later this year. Kendrick drops the album later this year. How does it sound? Is it good? How is it received? Is it impactful? Is it influential? And who is selling what? Once we get all of those results, we're going to see who's sitting on that throne at the end. You sound nervous, Act. You got quiet.
No, I'll give you that. You're making a valid point. I just don't believe that nothing will change. If you thought Kendrick was the quintessential pure MC, no matter what's going to happen here, I don't think Drake has the ammo to make you think differently. If you thought thought Drake was he's a pop guy, but like when he really want to rap, he really get to it type shit, and he's the best, which I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like, oh no, Kendrick is whatever. If anything, it would lead more towards how they are in confrontations. That's more at stake, if you ask me, right? Because it's not that I don't think Drake could rap with Kendrick. I'm looking at Drake as this guy who has been so hip hop. He's also adopted the hip hop mentality of being fearless, being almost like, yo, you niggas really don't want to get it on with me. Like when I listened to him on 5 a.m. in Toronto when he said, I could load every gun with bullet that fired backwards, I still won't ever lose a single rapper. I believed him when he said, yeah, these niggas really don't want it with me. They won't even try me.
Yeah.
I'm down for any of this shit. These niggas don't want it. So it could possibly change that with me, be like, Joe said something while he was on stream with me. He said, yo, the real MCs, we haven't viewed Drake as the guy who, like, yeah, he's good. He is one of the best MCs. But when he goes against another real MC, he'll find the out at times, i.e. me, i.e. Pusha T, that he doesn't want to engage with. And when it's an easy win, he'll do the encore or the victory lap. Yeah. And I never thought about it like that because I think the way how he washed Meek Mill, I assumed and I really projected any of you pussies who wanted to get it in with my guy, he gonna wash you just the same. Serious.
I don't think there's a lot of people that can go toe to toe with Drake. I'll be honest with you. I think I don't know that as formidable as Pusha T is. I don't know that anybody saw this coming. I think Kendrick is someone that people always thought had the potential or was capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I look at the landscape. I can't see a single person. But I agree with some of what you're saying because I'm a person who views them the same way you described them. I don't think of Kendrick as a backpacker though. Like he's much bigger than any of those guys from the underground movement were back then. But he is someone who is.
Okay, and I'm sorry I'm cutting you off, but let me add this to it. I think if this results in Kendrick getting the better of Drake, it gets me more infuriated with Kendrick.
Why?
Not because of Drake. It's because one of the reasons why Drake is my favorite is that Drake is for the fans. I think he sacrificed most of his life for what we like him for. This is a guy who has foregone his privacy, personal privacy, going away, like getting a shit ton of money. Like, you know, J. Cole and Kendrick have a shit ton of money, but they get to enjoy a level of privacy and gets to be secluded away from this whole madness, while Drake is always in the fray. He's the guy who's always, and I'm not saying that doesn't come with also its own perks, but I would get upset at someone like Kendrick to say it's the reason why I watch every NBA game, but somebody told me the Clippers got eliminated in the game, right? In basketball.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. People kept saying how Kawhi was comparable to LeBron, but I've always criticized Kawhi as he should never be mentioned with LeBron. He doesn't want it like LeBron. He doesn't put the work in like LeBron. He doesn't make the sacrifices like LeBron. And that's why I would get more upset at Kendrick. If Kendrick gets the better of this, I'm going to get upset at Kendrick that if you're this good, if you're this guy who's even better than the guy who I really like, you show up once every fucking 5 years, you don't put out music, you're not ever present in music. Like to me, that create a disdain for a nigga. Like, bruh, you don't deserve the title of being king. If you think that you just get to sit on that throne and not be able to do what I do like about Drake, he did the shit that if you're king, you got to do. He accepted every challenger. He tried to help young niggas coming up. He tried to be present. I don't really look at J. Cole nor Kendrick. That's why when that nigga first said it, the same line that Drake used on push-ups without, I didn't even know he was going to use it. When I said, what top 5 you smoking on? I don't think you've been present in this culture, my nigga. But if we got to go 5 years without hearing from you, it bothers me. I don't think you're that busy. I don't think your family life is that much. So when I got a nigga who's been playing that role all along, and if you're better than him, we'll do the shit he's doing times 10. It bothers me. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's start with Cole, right? Cole has been on the run of features for the last.
I give Cole the credit. I do give Cole the credit.
Wait. I let you cook. Like Cole, you pointed out, sharing your platform with like up and comers, right? Cole has been doing it for the last 5 years. You know, anything from working with Dirk. I mean, not that Dirk is up and coming, but Cole has been collaborating with a lot of people who benefit from the guest verse for the last 5 years. And when I think 5, I think about a lot with 21 Savage, won a Grammy, right? Cole's pretty active now. Cole has never taken a break. I know you're saying that about Kendrick specifically, but Cole is always active.
Cole in the last 3 years.
Cole is not in the club, but Cole is out there. You can touch him. You can be out there. Cole is out there, right? Now, Kendrick, let's go through the chronology, right? Section 80s 2011, Good Kid, Mad City 2012. Then Pimple Butterflies 2015. So that's a 3-year break. Then Damn is 2017. That's a 2-year break. Kendrick was supposed to drop in 2020. The pandemic happened. And he readjusted, just like a lot of people that were supposed to drop in 2020. You don't think Cardi B had plans in 2020? You don't think a lot of these people had plans to drop that year?
Nope.
We had to deal with a global pandemic, right?
No. You're not being also honest to this, and you know a lot more behind the scenes conversations. The reason why Kendrick Lamar didn't drop in 5 years, it wasn't really because he didn't want to drop. He had label fucking issues. He was getting off TDE and starting.
No.
Stop it.
Listen, I'm not even gonna engage with that thread, right? I'm not even gonna engage with that thread, right? But you said something else about I'm trying to remember everything you said. The sacrifice. Yo, the beauty, part of the beauty about this battle is the contrast between Drake and Kendrick as artists and people, right? And Kendrick and Cole are just regular guys. They're, they don't want to deal with all of the things that come with the fame. That's just who they are. They choose to live a regular life. Drake loves this shit. Drake is one of the best people at being a celebrity. He's phenomenal at it. I don't think it's a sacrifice. He loves that shit. That's why he never goes away. Drake has FOMO.
No. Hold on. I think that's easy to say. But I at the same time, I still see it as a sacrifice. It's easy to say he's having fun doing all this shit. Drake 37, my nigga. I think he's foregone really settling down because he wants to still be the guy who's a playboy. Now, you could just say he's just having fun. I'm not saying it's not still fun, but the guy who was like, we've never seen the guy like when Jay-Z would start rapping about on Lost Ones about, Beyonce and him wanting to settle down. It was a different Jay-Z. It wasn't Big Pimpin' Jay-Z who was talking about I'm just fucking all the bitches. This was a Jay-Z saying I'm ready to be at a different place in my life. Like, again, Jay-Z, matured and, went to that realm. I think Drake, if you would ask me, and again, I don't know a nigga like that. Okay, I never met him in person. I only talk to him. I talk to him, and we talk.
Wait, you still haven't met him in person? You just talked to him on the phone?
Yeah, I ain't met. And I don't want to meet. Like, I don't really care about meeting that nigga in person like that because I'm not no fan of him as a person. I'm a fan of him as a musician. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we're gonna meet. We're gonna meet, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? Honestly, like, I fucked up every time we was gonna meet. Like the nigga would be like, "Yo, I come here," and I'm like,
I know because I was there one time. Remember, like that show in New York?
Yeah, but so I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I believe he's to chase being in that position where you're the best rapper and you're at the top rap spot, period. He's foregone certain shit. That is sacrifices to me. Because, whether he's enjoying it or not, if he was like, if he was A$AP Rocky, or, and this is A$AP Rocky, it's hard to be still making the type of music that you're making now. Like, Drake is still making music for 23-year-olds. If you're A$AP Rocky with 2 kids, married to a billionaire, you're heading to 40. Like, if A$AP Rocky now makes songs that college student would be liking, you'd be like, that's kind of odd.
Hey, Rocky's 35. Let's not age him yet.
No. I'm not aging Rocky, but Drake is 37. So I was talking about Drake.
Yes.
I was talking about Drake. I was like, I think he's foregone certain shit. Like, and people are going to say I'm thinking too deep into this shit, but I do think, like, for example, Skip Bayless said one of the reasons why family life and, having kids and certain shit never really occurred. Even Stephen A. Smith said basically the same. Is that, hey, they were so dedicated to their careers and what that meant in terms of sacrifice that they kind of sacrificed family or the opportunities or moments or foregoing certain shit that they would have to give up to start a family. I think that's what Drake has done. You might think it's the selfish reasons why he's trying to remain the top rapper, but I think if this nigga was just like, yo, bro, let me just go hang it up and blah, blah, I think the music just wouldn't sound the same. I don't think he would have the same cultural impact. I think he's made sacrifices.
Okay, I get that. But I don't think that needs to be a good reason to be upset at Kendrick either. Like because he's still giving us music. He's just giving us music at a different pace. And here's the thing: we don't know what the reality. We don't know if he was.
I'd be upset at Kendrick.
He didn't have his other obligations. We don't know that.
I'd be upset. Number one, I would never think that Kendrick needs to be making music for 23-year-olds. Never. I'd be upset at Kendrick.
No, just the presence, you know, because you want people to be consistent in terms of output.
Yeah, I'd be upset at Kendrick, and maybe it's a personal thing. I felt even from a media perspective, my life is this. Like, I don't go on vacation without this. I fuck a birthday. I've said it could be a mama's birthday. Anybody, nothing comes before what I think my purpose has been, which is this. And there are people like that. And that's why I kind of talk up to Drake. That's not Kendrick. Like, Kendrick clocks into work, gives y'all his great art, and he goes away. His life isn't hip hop. His life isn't living this moment by moment. Hold on. And by the way, I'm saying that with a caveat because I'm not trying to make people feel like, of course, Kendrick is hip hop. But what I'm saying is that he's not living the culture. He has a different. I think Drake's life is all what we see, while these other guys have the opportunity to be like, yo, here's what you get in terms of music. You get this limited scope of my personal life. Let me go live. Like, put like this. If Drake hangs out with a new girl, we see it. And obviously you're going to be like, well, that's by his own choice. But I do believe that's what goes into what he's become, right? Everything is transparent. He's not some recluse unless he's putting out music. We see the full 360 view of it. You get what I mean?
Yes, but just because you don't see it doesn't mean he's not living it. There's different ways of living it.
Okay.
He's just, you know, someone who keeps everything tight, and there's only but a few people who get to see it. But trust me, he's living the culture.
Okay, all right, hold on. And matter of fact, let me just walk that back because I could tell people are gonna try to take it differently, and obviously, like I would never fix my mouth to say Kendrick doesn't live hip hop, like, right? Because like, come on, like that's ridiculous. Yep. All right, let me explain. It's like the responsibility of being the top guy that's leading a culture goes beyond just you putting out music. It's not about just you putting out music and disappearing. It's about you affecting a lot more other things. And I think that Drake is present in the culture much more to the effect than these guys who seem to just drop off their music at this point and disappear. It doesn't feel like, you know, they're caring about the sound, the this, the that. While it feels with Drake, he does. And I give him credit. And maybe I'm explaining this wrong. Should I take a couple shots, whatever? When I heard Thug on the Breakfast Club say this, he said, yo, a lot of these artists, they get lit or get to the position where they don't need nobody else and they disappear. He's like, for us, Drake is all our OGs. He's the one who's still interacting with the culture. He's still fucking with the people who are trying to get to where he's at and trying to do different things. And I do give blame to niggas like Kendrick. And I'm not going to say Cole as much because I think Cole started to have a change of heart with certain shit. Yeah, like, why is that not respected, that what Drake does? And Why is this whole I just drop shit and just disappear? Why is that respected? I don't respect that shit at all.
I think you're reducing interacting with the culture to very specific actions, right?
Okay.
And it sounds like you're applying this to Kendrick's career, period. But let's be real, right? When we talk about the culture, like we also talk about social issues, and I'm not the most political person, so I want to get deep into it, right?
All right.
If you go back to 2015, and the climate about what we were feeling collectively with Tamir Rice and Eric Gardner and Trayvon Martin, like happening back to back to back. Who responded and addressed the climate through his music on a mainstream level? Whatever y'all want to say about the Pimp a Butterfly, no, you gotta let me get this off. Whatever you want to say about the Pimp a Butterfly, that was the one album that did it. Cole, around the same time, was in Ferguson, marching with the people.
What year was this?
2015, right? They also were out there with the people marching during the protest with George Floyd.
Listen, by the way, I agree with you.
Let me finish. Like you don't like. I know both of those guys, right? But I don't want to reveal or like share too many of the things that we've talked about. All I know is that they see everything. Wait. Let me. Wait.
I ain't talking.
I'll ask for forgiveness later on this one because I think it's funny. I will use. You're the culture, right?
Yeah.
100%. So I'll use you as an example. So remember, you posted on your page. It had to be. I forget. It had to be before Damn, right? You posted a screenshot of a journalist saying that he heard early music from Kendrick, and it was an album with rock influences, right? And you posted it, and your question was, "Hey, Kendrick has a new album that's rock influence. Need it or keep it?"
Yeah.
Good memory. I see the post. Wait. I see the post, right? And I'm like, man, what do you mean? Keep everything, Kendrick, right? Not realizing that what I meant to say is need it. When I tell you, in the next 2 minutes, my notifications went crazy. And your comments are going at me crazy. So I'm like, man, I don't need to explain anything, so I'm just going to delete my comments. Who calls me later that night? Dave Free.
Shout out to Dave Free.
Right? Dave plays me, like, he doesn't say anything. He just plays me a song over the phone. I listen, and I'm like, wait, this is Kendrick? Man, I never heard this. And then he picks up the phone and he says, "Hey, yo, Carl, need it or keep it?" We both start laughing. Bro, he was with Kendrick. They were just talking about my comment. They saw it. 2 minutes. They see everything. Bro, just because you don't see what they're doing doesn't mean they're not interacting with people. You don't know who they spend time with behind closed doors. You don't know what they're doing. The culture is not only in the U.S., it's global. These guys may be in other places. Like, I think that's unfair. I think you got to credit Drake, but it doesn't mean that you have to discredit him.
Wait. And let's not make this a Drake versus Kendrick thing. I'm agreeing with you in your original point, even with when you were saying the timeline. My timeline is after Damn. My timeline after Damn is that I felt like Kendrick left hip hop. I honestly I felt he left hip hop, and it's kind of interesting when he comes around and he's like, "Yo, hip hop should be like this," and "Yo, how y'all let this guy do this?" And I'm like, "Dog, you were at the helm. You were getting all the accolades. You had the Pulitzer Prize. You were the guy that the Grammys were saying." Really, if we were speaking, and even as socially from a culture perspective, we gonna be all right, songs like that. You had the opportunity to shape this shit, and you went ghost. You did go ghost. And I'm going to be honest with you. I do hold it against him. Nigga, I don't give a fuck if you had label issues and third from 2017 till 2022 or 2023, whatever it is. You were not here. You did not say, you gave a couple of verses, a Black Panther motherfucking soundtrack. You were not here. There's other people who showed up. Again, I have no problem before. Listen, I keep saying To Pimp a Butterfly, it's not, I don't even think it has one of the most replay values of any of the classics I've ever certified, in my opinion. But I know it was a classic. To Good Kid, Mad City, classic. Damn, a classic. But that nigga went ghost for 5 years. Well, if you're the leader of the culture and you now come back, and by the way, this is not a Drake thing. Fuck what him and Drake got. But he's talking, he said, I'm what the culture is feeling. Yes, the culture was feeling you, nigga, and 5 years you went ghost. So, of course, the culture is going to go left, right, up, down, because you, which had the culture in your palm to really guide it, you weren't here. And I hold it against him. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're not going to agree on that, but let's talk about how he's guiding the culture now.
Okay.
There was a gap.
By the way, I like what he's doing now. I hope he stays present. I hope he stays present, because I was about to get mad at him again after Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Don't tell us, oh, I'm now back. I'm on PG Lang, which is my own label, so I got no more issues. I'm going to be here, and then we don't hear from you for like 2 years till like that. Brother, I need you to be here.
Live in the present, bro. Hip-hop was on the decline. People saying we were dead in the water. Hip-hop is dead. People get laid off. And guess what? We're having a historic moment right now.
No,
led
we
by
are.
Kendrick Lamar and your boy Drake. So let's focus on that.
I am focused on it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't listen. Again, one of the reasons, and I don't want to put Drake into this. Okay. I always just say I'm glad my favorite rapper don't pick and choose when he want to be here, and he don't go play basketball for like a year, like for a whole fucking year, and basically ignore what's going on in the culture. Because you know how the culture gets to what we're talking about now. You know why when Kendrick says, Drake, I hate the women you fuck, you know why those are the women that are popping, nigga? Because a whole subculture takes over because you went ghost. So don't act like, yeah, my nigga, when you drop Humble and you were saying, I like bitches with they stretch marks and I like natural women, I was fucking with it. Okay, cool. Even I was on Everyday Struggle that time. I said, is he pandering? Then I said, oh, no, he's leading the culture. That was the narrative. You know what happened? He went away. He stopped being here. Yes, when Drake got the culture, it's BBL time. It's all about fake shit. So if you don't want that to be the thing, don't go away. Stop going ghost. I can't stand Kawhi Leonard niggas. They don't deserve credit in my book. Stay here. Listen, this ain't the hardest job in the world, and also culture always needs guidance. When y'all niggas just drop one project, go away for 8 years, or you're too cool to be on social media, or even pop up on some features, do some shit, what are we talking about? I'm sorry, I don't want to hear the part-time rapper come holla at the nigga who full-time. Get on a full-time schedule and holla at me. That's how I feel, personally.
I want to add one more thing, and then I gotta go. You've been on the phone for like over an hour. I got a life hack. I gotta act.
I gotta go too. Like it's like 2 o'clock.
So you said something about if Kendrick was president, that some cultures. You said something specifically about the girls he referenced, but the reality is like, I don't think that him being president means that something doesn't rise to the surface, even if that's something that he doesn't stand for. Because right now, when climate wait, listen to me. Wait, let me finish. Because everything's fragmented now. All of these things are able to coexist. They don't necessarily step on one another. Just because one thing is happening doesn't mean the next thing is not. So I don't think that would have changed. I think that if Kendrick dropped 2 albums between 2017 and 2022, whatever subculture of women that you're referencing that rose to the surface, it would have happened regardless.
Hey.
So it's not him. You're shifting blame on him.
No. Hold on. Wait, let me crystallize exactly, and I'm gonna plainly explain it again. When you come back and you say, I hate what another motherfucker represents because he represents A, B, C, and D, and you're describing even down to the women that he is involved with, and you're describing some of the things that is not in tune with your morals and codes. What I'm saying is that you are a cultural leader. Drake has helped shifted the culture that way. Why weren't you here to make sure there was balance? Why weren't you here? Where is the accountability for you? Because everything you're saying that you're tight about with Drake, Drake was here. Yeah, he's working with the Sexy Reds. Yeah, it's cool to say every time I see you with Sexy Red, I see two bad bitches. Y'all nigga about to pop ass. Well, listen, hey, we wouldn't have all of this if there was some balance. Kendrick, you do represent balance in this. We spoke about this before. Kendrick is balanced. Without a Drake, well, actually, I think it was me and Van Lathan. Drake and Kendrick, that's a balance of, it's like yin and yang. Like, come on. So what I'm trying to say is that when you go ghost, and then the culture goes left or goes wherever, when you come back and you just start pointing like, oh, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, cool. I'm glad you pointed it out, but will you stay here to now empower the women or empower the shit you do like? Or are you the nigga who's your what's it called, a curmudgeon? Like, you're only here to point out the shit you don't like, but the Kendrick that dropped Damn, he was the one who's saying, I love the dark-skinned women with the natural bodies and the stretch marks and the this, that, and third. Where's that guy at? To empower them. All I'm trying to say is, if I'm asking too much by saying, my nigga, if Drake is the biggest artist in the world and he could be present in the culture consistently, I don't know what you got going on at your house, my nigga, and it's none of my fucking business, but I think you can be too. Because if you pop up every couple of years and you only got complaints, I'm going to start looking at you to say, nigga, hey, on every metric, you're beating Drake in numbers right now in terms of that argument y'all having. So how about you fucking stick around when this issue is done? So in a year from now, 9 months from now, 2 years from now, make sure you're not like somewhere in fucking Somalia walking barefoot with no Wi-Fi, not being attentive to what's going on. Stick around just like how Drake is stuck around. That's all I'm asking for these niggas. I don't want to see you peddling bicycles in Tribeca. I don't want to see you on the Ghanaian basketball team, the 12th man. How about you shift the culture a different way? Because, by the way, him talking about Drake blackness, that's a point to be discussed. Oh, well, not necessarily Drake blackness, but hey, are some people appropriating the culture and exploiting it and utilizing it and misguiding it? All good. That's great points to be discussed, but
man, this whole situation, I'm actually happy that this beef is happening, bro. You're learning so much on both sides. You feel me? The people who do content and stuff, they're eating so much off this, bro. Like, people who sit here and react and do all the extra stuff, like, they're eating so good off this beef. But man, Kendrick versus Drake. You feel me? I'm always team Ak, and we know Big Ak is team Drake. So you feel me? I'm gonna have a little bias towards Drake, but I gotta keep it a bean. A lot of people don't like Kendrick's first track, and shit. I mean, I messed with it heavy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Push Ups versus Euphoria, which one is like the immediate better one? Like, if someone told me that they like Euphoria more than Push Ups, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with them. Like, you feel me? But if someone like sits there and says it's like so much better than Drake's is trash, come on, bro. Or if like someone said that Drake's Push Ups is like 30 times better than Euphoria, I'd be like, come on, bro. Because keeping it a bean, bro, one isn't like superiorly better than the other. Like, they're both good songs. That's like round one. And then you could put Taylor Made against the 6 616 in LA that Kendrick just dropped. Who was up? I have no clue. Kendrick's enjoying himself though. Kendrick knows what he's doing, bro. And I'm loving this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Every single bar, I will say this about Kendrick though. Every single bar that Kendrick says, or every verse, there is a bigger meaning behind it. You just have to figure it out. That's one thing with Kendrick that with him specifically, I like. Like it's like his bars come with like you have to go and search to like find out what he means. But then after you figure out, you're like, what? Like he's giving us clues about a lot of stuff. So we just gotta wait there and see. You feel me? How Academics is doing the countdown, day 1 no drop, day 2 no drop, day 3 no drop. I feel like Drake is gonna drop on day 6 because he's the sixth guy, so I feel like he's gonna wait until day 6. That's my what's it called? You feel me? My guess that he's gonna drop on day 6. If I'm right, I wouldn't really be surprised. But if he drops before that, awesome. If he drops after that, cool. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna respond before Kendrick responds. So you feel me? Will Drake drop another back to back? We just gotta wait and see. Will he not? You feel me? I don't know, bro. Kendrick is not meek, is the biggest thing I will say. He is not meek. Like, no, like overall artist, Drake is bigger, but in rap alone, like as rap fans, like the old heads, the young bulls and all that stuff, like everyone, majority of people would pick Kendrick, like especially in America. A lot of people rock with Kendrick, bro. A lot of people rock with Kendrick, bro. So hey, but overall we know Drake's bigger, but just rap alone, man. And like y'all, there's no point in doing like the money back and forth. I'm glad they're not doing the money back and forth. Like, oh, I got more money than you. Like Ross. Ross's big thing is money, but like it's hard doing the money thing with someone who most likely has more money than you. You feel me? So, who do y'all think got more money, Rick Ross or Drake? I mean, they said Drake made like $100 and some million just off his tour, bro. Drake could tour every like twice or 3 times every single year and probably make over $200 million easy, probably profit off touring if you really want to. I think Rick Ross is making a lot of money. I don't know where Rick Ross is making his money from, but I don't think he's making that kind of money. Plus, Drake got like the steak deals and all that stuff. I think Rick Ross is making money, but I don't think he's making like that kind of money. I think Ross probably makes like probably I don't know. How does Rick Ross make his money? Because it's not music. He doesn't have that many artists signed. Like, is his franchises really making that much money? Like, I know franchises they could make like 300, 400K a year, but like, how many does Ross have? How he's making that much? Is he making like 5 million a month or something? Like, I feel like Ross, the way he acts, he got to be at least making at least 50 million a year. But I think Drake's making more than that, but I don't know. Who knows? I mean, man, Drake, go and look at how much money Drake is making off his tour. Drake's easy making like at least 100 mil for like the past however many years. Well, he signed his $500 million allegedly contract to, plus touring, plus all his other deals. Man, Drake is probably a billionaire right now. Like in assets, probably not liquid, but in assets, he's probably a billionaire. Let's keep it a bean. But man, gets crazy, bro. I told you it gets crazy. But we just gotta wait and see how everything goes. You feel me? I'm a fan of hip hop. As I said before, I have a bias towards Drake, but I am a fan of hip hop. I'm enjoying this. If Kendrick drops a back-to-back-esque song and he demolishes Drake, I'll keep it a bean. You demolish Drake. But until then, you feel me? I feel like you feel me? We just gotta wait and see who drops the song to demolish the other person, which has not been dropped yet. We just gotta wait and see. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.